Hello, hello. Good evening. Good Saturday night here in October. As I do all the time, I'm just kind of checking things, letting the application do what it needs to connect us live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And I hope everyone out there is having a good Saturday night. Our first Saturday in October. October is one of my favorite months. Always has been, probably always will be. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing this fun table session number 11. And let me kind of check things like I just mentioned. So it looks like where is that? Hang on. Just checking things, just checking things. Excuse me, goodness. I ate dinner before I did this, and now I'm starting to have it come up. Okay. Okay. Yep. So I see that we're looking pretty good. Everything's starting to go. So um, let's see. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts. So thank you again for joining me. This is the last fun table session that I will be doing for a few weeks, and that's because virtual tour is coming up with Alice. Leg 3, Chapter 3 starts on Thursday the 8th. So I will be doing interviews of all sorts of different people, as always. And that runs through October 22nd with only one night off. So I've been gearing up for all of that. And also, I have a few interviews coming up before that starts. So tomorrow, if you're free at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. East Coast, I have Mr. Terry Butler from Obituary, Death Metal Legends coming. They have some streams coming up this month. And so we're going to be talking about those streams and everything that kind of comes along with them. And on Tuesday, I'm really excited about this one because it was a long time trying to get it together because of time zone differences and also language differences. Hi, Steph. Thanks for checking things out. Hopefully, things are good for you and your family down in the east. What is that? The southeast corner of the U.S. And so Tuesday, I have Almira Tursin coming, and she is a very popular model and actress from Kazakhstan. So we've had to try to work out the language barrier in advance. So it's going to be a really interesting and unique interview on Tuesday. And then, like I said, on Thursday, Alice, Chapter 3, we hit it hard. We get going. I'm looking forward to being back with the band and all the other folks that they've booked for the tour. And my understanding, if I've scheduled myself correctly, there's a whole side story to all of that, is that I will be interviewed during the Chapter 3 tour. And there's also going to be some other Alice-related folks that are going to be interviewed finally by me. And so we're kind of like putting all this together because this is the last tour that they're doing for this year. And then they go back and work on their album. And I know they've got some other projects that they're working on. And then I'll be going back to doing fun table sessions. So number 12 will be coming up later this month. And I'm looking at possibly doing one around Halloween as well, either that Friday the 30th or Saturday the 31st, kind of talking to some people. And then November, there's already some guests that are lined up to do some more fun tables. And then interviews will happen wherever they kind of naturally, organically happen. The one on Tuesday this week happened that way. I was really, really, hi, Tony. Hope things are good for you on the East Coast as well. Thanks for tuning in via Twitch. And yeah, so there's just a lot of things in the hopper with Eclectic Arts. On a personal side, I've got a lot of things going on. Industrial Girl, how you doing? Good to see you down in East LA. Yes, they're going to be turning the tables on me. I don't know who's asking me the questions. If it's one, two, all five band members, hell, maybe Carl will get in on it too. I don't really know there, but I'm going to put myself out there. So one of the interview segments that I would normally do on the tour is going to be I get to sit there and answer questions. Hey, Dusty, good to see you as well. So I'm glad to see some people are tuning in and joining us for this Saturday night. So as always, I'm super stoked about, again, being back together with Alice and, finishing this tour strong. It's been such a blessing, if you want to call it that, for me to, be a part of everything that they do, and for them to even think about inviting me to do anything has just been just amazing to me. So, hey, but this is the fun table. So let's see what we can do. This is the first time since, what did I tell the guests? Since the second fun table back in early August, where all of the guests are on the West Coast. Now, does that mean we can maybe break the record that's been set by, that was number 6, the fun table number 6 crew managed to set the record? We'll organically see. We're not trying to say, hey, just hang in there, keep talking about stuff for 2 hours and 45 minutes. But if we end up doing that, then so be it. Some people might be tired. Some people have schedules. They got other things they got to do tonight, tomorrow morning, who knows? But I'm all set. I'm ready to go. I've been really looking forward to this. So, yeah, let's get going with this. My first guest, if you've been watching a lot of the interviews, or if you went back on YouTube and just kind of poked around, you might be thinking, I don't know who this is, or when did Mark interview this person? Well, I did interview him, but it was for the company that he dances for. So people didn't see it through Eclectic Arts or through Alice. And I'm trying to have he and his partner come on to do an interview. We're trying to figure that out. Schedules are kind of tough. I also kind of made a mistake with my own scheduling, so that's completely on me. But we'll figure that out. But in the meantime, I'm really, really happy to have Carlos join us from the Olympic Ballet Theater. So let me bring him in. And
hey, Mark, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks, Carlos. I'm so glad that you can join me, and we finally got something together.
Oh, yeah. A little trial and error with the schedules.
Always. And it's so weird because sometimes, some things are opening up for people, and sometimes for other people, their schedules have not really changed at all. So, and it looks like, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit, that you have are you starting doing like a class or a school or something?
So yeah, because of what's happening with COVID right now, everything is really uncertain. So I've decided to go back to school, and I just got into an EMT program. So it's been a hectic 2 weeks.
Wow, okay. And how long is that program going to be?
So that's going to last all the way till December, and that's getting us ready to take the exams for whether it's the national or the state exams.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we might talk a little bit more about that once we bring the other folks in here. But yeah, I'm glad that you could join me.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and so let's get our next guest. Let's see, who do I go with? Oh, we'll save the veteran for last, since there's somebody right behind you. There's a kitty, I see. Our second guest has been was on the second leg of the Alice tour, and she is working on her screams. Last time I heard, I know her new song and video just got put out very recently. And I'm really happy to have another Canadian join us. So let's welcome Kelsey to the group here. Here we go. Hey, Kelsey.
Hi, Mark.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. I think the beer's starting to kick in a little bit, so I'm feeling
That's
better.
Good.
And
yeah. Saturday
awesome.
night.
Yep, I'm glad to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it feels weird that it's been almost probably 2 months since we did that interview.
Wow, time's gone by really fast.
Yeah, it was early August, I think, when we did it.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And then, Carlos, when I did the interview with you and Rowan for OBT, was that like mid-August, I think, or something?
About mid-August, yeah.
Holy
I think
moly.
maybe like July, to be honest.
Gosh.
Like
that's crazy.
Time's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
I feel like it's actually gone by even faster during COVID for some reason.
Yeah, isn't that kind of strange that some things are like super fast, and some things
other things are really slow.
like molasses.
Yeah.
All right, so let's bring in our third guest, who has been doing, let's see, she's done 3 of these fun tables, and she almost showed up last week, apparently, thinking that's when we were doing this, but she's here today. She's on number 4, so also from the Olympic Ballet Theater. Let's welcome back Anisa Sinteral. Let's get her in here.
Hi.
Hi, Anisa.
Yeah, I got the right date, so here we are. I know my months.
Awesome. Yeah, great to have you back. You're now tied with, I think, Christiana for most appearances.
She messaged me on Instagram and was like, "Are you having a margarita?" And I was like, "You know it."
Awesome. And again, for those that are in the chat, it's great to have you here. And I did not make mention of this through my social media posts. I just mentioned that I was going to be giving away things at some point. And I've been really lucky that WellGo USA has been giving me these opportunities to give away brand new Blu-rays. And this one is actually a pack. So you actually get the Blu-ray and the DVD if you're into physical media, like old people like me are. So this is Cutthroat City. I just actually reviewed this, and I actually enjoyed it. I know some people are kind of so about it. I thought it was really interesting. It was about Hurricane Katrina and the aftermath and what happened to some of the areas down there that were in the poorer neighborhoods. And then it kind of turns to a life of crime and that kind of thing. So that was Cutthroat City. And then this one I just watched last night, which is Broil, which is a horror type of thriller movie that I saw people in July really liked it. So I was stoked to see it. And you'll have to wait for my review because I haven't written it yet. But these are brand new, and I wasn't sure if I was going to give them away tonight. Last time I just ended up picking somebody in the chat who I thought would like it and deserved it. So we'll figure out what happens with these things at some point because I do want to give them away, and they're brand new. So, okay. Here we go. I like physical copies. Oh, cool, Industrial Girl. So I'm not the only one. I can look over here and kind of see. Well, it's kind of dark in here, but I can see my normal collection of things that I like. So, and what I was going to ask, because this came up earlier this week, was that somehow I was talking about my age, and then I was saying, "Oh, are you going to watch the Fun Table on Saturday?" And they're like, "Yeah." I said, "Who's going to be on?" I was mentioning the people, and they're like, "So, how old are those people in relation to me?" And I'm like, "They're all younger." That's the easy thing. So you don't have to say your specific age, but are you guys all in your 20s? Is my guess?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos is shaking his head.
I'm actually 18.
We knew it. We knew it all along.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm actually in my 30s. So just turned 31 recently. So
Okay.
Well, you look young, so.
I still feel 20. So it's all good.
Well, and if it's any consolation, I think, let's see. So if you're 31, yeah. So if I had a child when I was 19, that could be you.
When you were 19. Okay.
So
There you are.
40,
all three of you could be my own.
You're 50.
My own kids. Yes, I am 50.
You look
and-
younger.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
your
I was like,
Asian.
whoa.
Oh, well, thank you. Maybe those Blu-rays are coming to you. I don't know.
I actually don't have a DVD player.
Okay, well, maybe your friend does that you're staying with right now. I don't know. Let's see. I collect CDs and DVDs, totally old school. Okay, that's cool, Tony. And 37 going on 15, Industrial Girl. All right.
Same.
Wow. Yeah, enjoy your youth. That's all I can say.
It sucks. I'm just kidding. Well, half kidding.
Enjoy those years because I can look back on it and kind of see, the first half of your life, if you want to call it, for the most part, you're probably doing pretty well, maybe health-wise, if you're fortunate. But when you're coming down the other side of the hill, like I am, things start to happen to you. Like, I used to be able to do this, or like, this didn't hurt before. And then you wake up on Sunday and like, what happened to my hip? Or what happened to my knee? And
It's happening already to me.
Why does my back hurt?
Yeah, it just kind of sneaks up on you. But it is always, if you're of a young mind, young heart, then that's going to help you out a lot for sure. And if that's how I go by myself, then I haven't really aged past 16 or something. So
You're stuck. Like Peter Pan.
yeah, I'm very much still stuck with a youthful mentality. And I think it kind of helps with a lot of things that I try to do when I can. So for those that are joining this or watching this from other places, quickly, I want to go around the fun table here. And if you could tell people what you do, either artistically and or what you're doing now that you feel like divulging. So let's actually start here in the corner, or I'm down here with Anisa. What would you like people to know about you?
Hey, my name is Anisa. I like to do these things with margaritas. If you've seen the live streams, I drink them every time. I am a professional ballerina. I've been dancing and training since I was 12, and no, I was not good. I was very bad. And like kind of my nickname dancing wise was Bambi because I dance like Bambi on ice. Now I think hopefully I don't dance like Bambi on ice, but that's open to interpretation. And if you guys want to see, you guys could, check it out. But I do ballet, and I actually started my first year of college this week because I don't know, the same kind of thing as Carlos where, COVID's happening, and since I'm not able to actually dance and do what I've kind of spent my life doing, I am pursuing other pursuits. That sounds bad. I'm pursuing other things, and I'm going to try to become a sports psychologist. So I started this week, so
Nice, that's cool.
yay.
That's awesome. When you said dancing on ice, you mean like figure skating or?
No, I mean like imagine, like figuratively, like I do ballet, but the physical standpoint of, the Disney film Bambi, where he puts him on ice and he's like falling around.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me at my core.
But you're great now.
I mean, open to interpretation. You could be like, I see Bambi, and I'll be like, she's still there.
It might be early, Anisa, but how do you liking your classes so far?
I am liking it. It's a lot of writing. And I mean, I haven't gone to school since I actually dropped out and got my GED when I was 17. So it's been 10 years of me not going to school or, trying to do that whole thing. So coming back to it, I'm like, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. Like, I have to have my mom check my writing. I'm like, is this a sentence? Like, did I achieve what I'm trying to do? Like, I have no idea.
It's like you go to class and you're like, how do I take notes? Like, what do I do again? And
am I right-handed or am I left-handed? Like, how do I write?
it's funny because I have Rowan proofread everything. I'm like, is it okay? Does
Yes!
that sound correct? Is that grammatically correct?
Well, I relate back to that when I used to be a teacher, that in the summer to keep my certificate valid, I had to go take classes, and I was taking them at a college in the summer. And I just remember looking around the classroom thinking, God, I feel old. And this was like maybe in 97, 98. So it was like a long time ago already. And even back then I thought I was kind of like old, and all the students had like laptops at that time. They're doing all their note taking on laptops. And I was, there with a pen and pencil or whatever,
Yeah.
stuff down. And I'm like, oh God, I'm so far behind already. And it was just weird to see how things are. So I can't imagine like if someone made me go back to class like right now, oh God, I have no idea.
Although I do like the pen and paper approach. I think like you learn better that way than just typing everything up.
I think
There's
so, too.
something
I feel
about
better.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I can't type it. I actually I'm lucky enough that I have good eyes, but staring at the computer screen, like the light hurts my eyes so bad I had to buy like
Blue light glasses.
Yes.
Yeah, I wear those.
Yes. And it helps so much. I'm like, wow, I can do like COVID college. Like I can do this now.
COVID college. Wow.
What a time.
All right. And then let's move over. Let's see. I'm doing it the wrong way to Carlos over here. If you want to talk about your background and then what you're up to now.
So I'm Carlos. I'm originally from San Francisco. I moved up to Washington about 3 years ago to dance with Olympic Ballet Theater. But yeah, with COVID going on, I decided to go back to school, look into something where I would thrive, just because I do love the adrenaline. So I figured, you know what? Why not become an EMT and live life on the fast lane? But other than that, I started dancing at 18, and I'm 31 now, so about 13 years, including training and professional.
Wow.
But yeah, that's me.
Okay. And and you were kind of telling me pre-show that with the EMT stuff that you're going to be doing classes through like December, and then I'll get you ready to take the exams. Is that kind of correct?
Correct. Yeah. So it's exciting. It's also very daunting because, like Anisa was saying, like, oh man, it's my first week back in school. I haven't been in school in a while, so just getting back into the flow of things, it's exhilarating.
So when you take the exams, does that mean that the next step is that you can get hired on for a job, or what happens next? I'm not clear on the.
So yeah, I get if I pass the exam, I could start looking for jobs, or it's kind of like a trainingship, or what's the word?
Like apprenticeship or
You're
something?
like on a probationary period before you get like hired officially.
Okay. All right.
Like an internship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that means that if I have to call 911 and they send like ambulances and fire, I might look over and say, "Hey, I think I
He's
know
your
you."
guy.
I'll grind jete to the scene.
Awesome. And then let's go down to our rapper person. Who's we're hearing your rapper on your mic.
Oh. I'm eating a chocolate banana mochi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Kelsey, if you want to let people know about your background and what you're up to.
I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I lived in the States for 6 years, went to school in Boston, lived in LA. I'm a rock/gent vocalist. I put out a cover video and a single last week, and I am currently working on my screams, which I've been working on for a while. I'm trying to get better at that, and I'm getting my EP redone, so I'm going to have new music out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and I'm looking for a new job, so that's been fun.
Is that where some of the stress is coming from? The job
That
part?
and also putting together a website and building like a Patreon and like merch, and stuff like that. I'm trying to get all of that done by next week. I wanted to finish everything by middle of September, which would have given me 6 months to finish everything, but because of COVID and my surgery and stuff like that, like everything's been pushed back. So I'm trying to be patient, but also not procrastinate, but also not overwork myself at the same time. Yeah, my brain's weird.
No, that makes sense. I think everyone has those different sides and dichotomy of things that they're looking at, trying to hope to, get things accomplished within reason, but also not overworking yourself to the point where you can't do anything, because then what good are you to anybody then at that point? So you want to have both things going. It's yeah. Did you get that mochi today?
Yeah, I did. I got there was like this one Chinese, not Chinese, it was like a Japanese dessert place, and they sold like Japanese wafers, mochi, chocolate, stuff like that. And I got peach yogurt, raspberry cheesecake, chocolate banana, matcha. Yeah, it's pretty legit.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm a dessert fiend.
As one should be.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And we already know that Anisa is drinking her signature margarita. I'm drinking beer like I always am. And Carlos or Kelsey, are you drinking anything? It doesn't have to be alcoholic.
I've got an old fashioned over here.
Okay, nice, an old fashioned. And
I
Kelsey?
have coffee with red velvet Baileys.
Okay.
Ooh, red velvet.
Nice. This is probably maybe the first time we've had everybody drinking something that has alcohol in it, I think. Wow.
Good.
What does that say about us?
We're
that
human.
That we're cool. No, I don't know. Anybody out there in the chat, if you're drinking anything, if you want to throw it into the chat, that'd be interesting to see people what they're doing or drinking. It doesn't matter if you're drinking, pop or water or whatever floats your boat. I'm just teasing when I say the being cool thing. I don't think I've ever been cool. But let's jump into the questions here and just kind of see, because like Anisa, last time you were on was round 5. So there's been quite a few other, questions that I keep adding to the list. So some of these should be brand new to you. Jameson and Coke. Okay, nice. Industrial Bill. Vodka tonic by
love a vodka tonic.
So do I. If I drink a mixed drink, that's actually my go-to is a vodka tonic. So what kind of vodka, Dusty? I'm just curious. And let's see. Okay, I asked this question to the gals that were from Phantom of the Opera, and it was interesting. Oh, that's someone's ride.
It's really loud because I'm downtown.
No problem.
Close the window.
When was the last time you used? When was the last time you used a cuss word?
Today.
all the time.
An hour ago, like 5 minutes ago.
Did you know that intelligent people are more likely to swear?
Yes.
I didn't know that. No. So is that why I swear so much?
Actually,
It's
got it
a
from
sentence
Dad.
enhancer.
Genetics.
Belvedere from Dusty. Okay. And then cherry flavored water on the rocks. Less than an hour ago. Helicopter going around here. Do you? So sometimes I also ask this as a follow up. But does anybody have a favorite cuss word? And you don't have to say it, or you can. Doesn't matter. It's up to you.
Oh, my boyfriend taught me this, and it is just the funniest thing because he'll say it all the time, but it's like, little bitch. I say it all the time. Like now I've gotten my sisters to say it, like anything, anytime. It's just like you have so much power when you can say it. Of course, not like towards anyone. Like you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but like in a safe space, you know, you're like, I'm not a little bitch. You can go ahead and like, yeah, it just feels good. It feels good to say that.
I like motherfucker. You could use it as like for whatever. You can be like, motherfucker, or like motherfucker. All these different
meanings.
intonations to it. Yeah.
That's true. Kelsey, how about you?
It's kind of offensive. You fucking cunt. Like there's two meanings to it. Like if I'm like you fucking cunt, and like I'm saying it to a friend, but if someone's pissing me off, I don't like them, then I'll like actually like mean it. So
wow.
Like, but I try not to say it often because it's offensive, but that's also why I say it. So
okay,
yeah,
well
sometimes
I'll try to be nice to you then.
You better give her that DVD.
Yeah, you get both of them automatically. You win. Yay.
I think it's funny though. Oh, sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I think it's funny too because I sometimes at ballet I catch myself just cussing out loud and I'm like, oh no, there's kids and
I do that all the time around kids. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Oh fuck, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I was like, please cover your kids' ears. And I'm just like yelling at myself. I'm like, oh, that's so sad.
Oh, I live alone, so I say the most offensive things all the time. That's kind of like me. It's like, well, there's no one here to hear it, so I was like, I could say what I want. I'm kind of like with Carlos that I tend to say motherfucker probably the most because you can really kind of dig into it at times, depending on why you're saying it. You know, if you just drop something or if you're actually meaning it, towards somebody. The F word for me, I say dumbass a lot too. I go with the classic fuck all the time. These are all people in the chat. Depending on your device that you're on, you can see those comments coming through from all the different platforms that we're on. I'm on my phone, so I can't reply to them. I can only just see them. But that's why I asked what's going on. And it's funny, the gals from the Family of the Opera Tour, she wanted to say what she what her cuss word was, but then she kind of caught herself because she's so used to not doing that kind of thing because of press and people having a fall. And I understand that, that it could come back to bite them. So I said, well, I'll just say it for you. So what is it? And that's when they kind of told me.
You're like charades for cuss words.
Yeah, it's like, no one's going to say, did you hear what Mark from Eclectic Arts said? I mean, no one's going to care about that. Let me see this real quick here.
I just said hi.
Okay.
It was me.
I just saw that. Okay.
I just testing it.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, that private chat works.
Yeah.
It's just kind of cumbersome for me to do it with my phone, but cool. And what's wrong? Okay. This is going to become like a running joke now. Okay. Yeah. Hello to both of you that just sent me a private chat. That's cool. Let me go back. I actually didn't get a chance to ask this one last week, and I thought it was kind of interesting. Said, would you rather lose all your memories or never be able to make new ones?
Lose memories.
Same.
Okay.
Man, that's a tough one because if you have good previous memories, like, I'd go with that one. I'd lose the old memories.
Okay. Yeah. When I saw that question, it was like, you're kind of hoping that you're going to make new good ones then, or even better ones, if you decide to get rid of the old ones. And I decided I would drop the old ones, just like what all three of you just said, and bet on the future.
You know, I wonder if that's just like a positive like standpoint on the whole thing, because I wonder if like you're naturally a positive person, you'd be like, I could make or the equivalent of those memories. And then maybe like someone that's more of like a half full person would be like, I like what I have. You know, I wonder what like the actual scope of that entails.
I think if I lost my memories and made new ones, I'd be happier.
Also that.
Yeah, like Dusty's like writing feels like the first time. So
yeah, and
reliving it every single time.
And I think like what Anisa said, at least for me, I've changed so much in the 50 years that I've been around on this planet, and that I tend to think that I'm a better person now than maybe I was for a chunk of my life. So I think that I would bet that the next 30, 40, however many years I live, that I think I'm going to be making better memories for, maybe not even for me, maybe it's for other people that I encounter. So can you imagine hearing Pink Floyd for the first time? I'm actually not a Pink Floyd fan. I'll let people out there know that I completely respect them. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
I'm not really either. It's okay.
They're one of those bands I completely respect, but I just never really got into them. But I know lots of people who love them, so and they've influenced a ton of bands too. Some memories I would still like to lose, and Beatles, Elvis, whomever. Yeah, no, I understand your point. Yeah, hearing something for the very first time would be. Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. I can think back to that stuff, but if I lost those memories from the 70s for me, then I'd be like, yeah, now I got to start all over again. So here's, the first time I hear Kiss, or the first time I hear Metallica, or the first time I hear whoever, it'd be like, holy shit. And I'd be hearing it in this, body and mind frame, I would think, instead of it being, when I was in my teens. I'd keep mine, losing friends and family along the way. I cherish the memories. Okay, that makes sense too. That's a tough question. There's definitely so many pros and cons to both sides of it, and that's why I liked it. I think if I remember, I got that off of a website that was talking about relationships. So all the questions that they had were relationship based, and that's kind of where that came from. What did I? Oh, okay. This is what I started off the last session with, which was what protocols from the pandemic. So there's open, obviously wearing face masks, social distancing, all kinds of other things have happened in the last 6 to 9 months. Is there anything that you would like to continue post-pandemic? So something that you've kind of grown to like that you'd like to see continue?
I think just being cleaner. Like I've always been like kind of a germaphobe, but I like how people nowadays, like other people, are also being more diligent about hand sanitizing and like cleaning things and all that stuff, whereas before like, people wouldn't care as much about that. So I feel like it is intense, but I actually like these new like cleaning protocols that people are doing, and I think that it's gonna continue even after we have the vaccine.
Okay, that makes sense. Carlos or Anisa?
Yeah, I like the 6 feet distance from anyone. Same. I think that's like the best thing so far. I kind of hate going into places and you're just crowded.
Yeah.
So having that room to breathe is really nice.
Yeah, I feel the exact same. Like, I think the 6 feet away is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Like, even at grocery stores, I mean, there's nothing worse than when you're like trying to look at what you need and someone's like breathing on your neck. And you're like, please, like, just let me, I just want to get the cheese. Like, I can find it. Just let me grab it. It's too much. And I'm like, I don't know. Now I'm like, oh, excuse me, that's COVID, please. Like,
use your leg to push them away.
Yeah,
like
we have stop.
A lot. I just think about I'm not sure if you watched Mad TV at all.
Oh,
there was a character named I think it's Stewart, and he would do this thing where he would just like push people away with his foot and just yell like stop.
Now it would be okay if you did that. Someone would be like, oh, it makes sense. Like, you'd be like, oh, sorry, like I have COVID. I'm protecting you. And they're like, thank you so much for putting your foot on me.
I'd be like, why are you out right now?
Yeah, and I'm seeing people in the chat are agreeing with all of it about being cleaner, like what Kelsey was saying, the 6 foot that Carlos and Anisa is talking about. I know for me last week, that's what I was talking about. I love the fact I use that example of that. I could be at a grocery store and I don't have like a grocery cart accidentally bumping in the back of my leg. I don't have somebody breathing on me, someone talking in my ear because they're on their phone and there's not oblivious to the fact that they're right next to me. So I like that fact. I hope it stays where they still have those markings, for 6 feet distance. And I just thought about something, Anisa, in your case, that you can actually say, look at my height. I'm 6 foot. So are you 6 feet from me?
Yeah. Like, am I laying down? Like, are you that close to me? Like, please.
Yeah. Social distancing. Oh, go ahead, Carlos.
No, I was going to say, I think it's even funny now whenever you see anyone sneeze or cough, how paranoid you get.
COVID. I knew it.
Or when I sneeze, I'm like, fuck, am I cold or is this COVID?
I know.
Right.
I get that all the time. Like if I'm like talking and then like I swallow my spit wrong and I'm like choking and I'm like, I'm coughing, but I'm like, I'm just an idiot. It's not COVID, I promise.
Yeah, was I just talking to Carlos? I was talking to somebody pre-show about how the fact that I had to get tested for COVID because I had symptoms, and I was like, yeah, I didn't know, and I'm trying to be safe and make sure that I'm not being some of those other people that we won't talk about who don't care about other people. And luckily came back negative and all that stuff. But that was kind of scary for a while because the symptoms didn't go away. That's why I'm like, because they were saying that even if you come back negative, you're supposed to still kind of isolate for X amount of days because your symptoms should disappear. And if they don't, then they may have gotten it wrong. You might have to get tested again and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, but I feel I'm basically back to normal now. As normal as I can be.
Nice.
And I'm just kind of glad. I used to say it's just allergies, but not anymore. Yeah, see, I've had allergies most of my life. I used to say the same thing. And I was at the, I think it was at the post office, and the postal worker had to go back behind the wall and then sneeze. And so I'm sure they're kind of instructed, don't do that in front of the customers because someone might really get, have a panic attack about it. They might, who knows? Because we just don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah.
I have perfected the fake cough. Okay. Nice. But yeah, we'll see what happens with, where we are. Obviously, we're here in October, and I don't even really have a timeline. I mean, you see all the different things about vaccines and stuff, but even just like getting back to if it's dance or if it's any kind of live event, like where are we looking at? Are we looking at May? Are we looking at next summer? At the year? I don't really know. And then you see these other places where they are. I just saw one today. There is a show that has not been put on since March, and they finally did one, but it was socially distanced. They had these little squares as outdoors, all that kind of thing, and everybody had to have a mask. So is that still enough? They tried to do everything they can. We won't know for 14 days if that was safe or not.
I feel like there's definitely going to be more outdoor shows in the future.
Yeah, it's the safer thing that they have right now. That's why they're so concerned about us going into fall and winter. More people being inside, and who knows?
Yeah. I saw though, I have some friends that are dancing in Europe, and they're actually doing like 30% capacity in the theaters, and they're dancing on stage, like with people in the company and without masks. And I just think that they as a whole, not they, I mean, where they are as a whole is having like a better, like not control, but idea of what's going on. And they're like implementing it because like people are going to see like 2-hour shows and like my friends are dancing on stage inside.
Yeah, I've seen, there was, I forget what theater, I think it was in Germany, I want to say, where they had done, I think it was 25%, and they were showing where everyone was seated and all these other kind of protocols. And, if it's working for them, again, if they don't have anything coming back to them after a few weeks, then maybe they've kind of figured it out. Like Tony just said, Germany is far beyond where we are. And I think we all kind of know that that's true. But the costs are 100%. Oh yeah, Dusty, that's true. He's talking about bands, and the larger venues, it's a problem because they can only fill a fraction of the seats, fans, but then they're still getting charged the same amount of money put
Yeah.
on the show, so that's not cost effective. So I don't know. It's just a weird time. And Anisa, even like when your first interview back in June, it's like, so here we are now. So I'm like, we were supposed to be like in a better spot now
Yeah.
in October and Halloween.
I know. I mean, I remember when COVID first hit, me and my sister were talking because I was like stuck in Seattle all of a sudden. I was like, it's going to be fine in like 3 weeks. Like they're going to tell us what to do in like a couple weeks. Like someone's going to come on and say like, hey, like, you know, we're going to do this quarantine thing and then it's going to go ahead and like change. And now looking back in hindsight, I'm like, this is crazy. Like the innocence and like not understanding the depth of what we were going through as like an entire world, and like just the innate belief that it's going to be okay and more positive was just so prevalent then. It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we have visual evidence in terms of me doing interviews from May through June and July and all that kind of thing. That's kind of like snapshots of what was going on out there, because I would talk about it during these kind of things. And it's like, yeah, I think everyone wanted to be positive because they're like, yeah, this is we're gonna take care of this. We're gonna conquer. We're gonna figure our way out. And then it went sideways on us, and it continues to do that. And state-run mandated testing in Germany, so like that around here. People don't wear masks. It's crazy. Dusty, you're in Virginia, is that right? Oh, is that where? I can't remember. See what he says, but yeah. So we just do the best we can, with what we got, and see what happens.
Right, it's crazy with something that we thought was going to last like 3 weeks, a month tops. Now we're 6, almost 7 months in, 8 months.
Yeah.
I knew this year was going to be fucked, especially with the election. Like, I could just feel it.
I don't know. I was kind of like thinking I was like 2020, like the roaring 20s. Like I could feel myself being like Great Gatsby. Like I'm going to wear a flapper dress, and feathers in my hair, and it's going to be exciting. And then instead, it's been crazy.
We actually went to 1917 to the pandemic then.
Yes. I also, I try to look up like how I follow this, this is going to sound really lame, but I follow this group on Instagram, and they're called like History Cool Kids. And it's all about, they post like photos from historical references and then explain them in the post. And it was about the past pandemics and how long they lasted. And that was probably back in June, July. And I remember reading it and being like, there's no way. Like, there's no way this is going to be a year. And now I'm like, oh my God, like maybe a year isn't enough.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about that on some of the interviews about that. Everyone's just hoping that in 2021, concerts come back and events come back, but we don't know for sure. Yeah, maybe you get that vaccine and it turns out there's something wrong with it. So then they have to take it off the market. We just don't know. So we just have to take it the way you've been doing it, whatever's safe for yourself and your loved ones and people that you care about, and kind of go from there. And yeah, we're not going to get into the election stuff. I don't want to even go there. I don't want to talk about the debate from Tuesday. I don't want to talk about the state of health for our president. I don't want to talk about any of that stuff.
We need more drinks for that.
Yeah, I would need like a whole case of beer.
Bottle.
Oh God.
I need a handle.
Yeah, you need a pitcher of margaritas.
We just need a new president.
It's crazy. But let's see here. It is October though, and again, like I mentioned in the intro, this has always been one of my favorite months. Even when I was a kid, you can ask my parents. They always said that I liked Halloween better than Christmas, which is true.
Halloween's my favorite.
Yeah,
favorite season.
I think they thought I was a little weird.
Not season holiday, my bad.
but I liked it. And so the question from round 8 was, do you ever cover your eyes during a scary movie?
I can't watch horror movies. I want to, but it's just like I get too involved in it, and it's just I can't do it. I wish I could. I get scared too easily.
Okay, and then I remember Anisa, you kind of said that you don't really do scary movies.
No, I'm too scared. I am probably the person that would be like, you know what, like nightlights, They're cool for everyone. They don't have to be a children's thing. Like I am not. I don't know. I think it's just like I get too into it, and then I'm like, these are my friends. My friends are having these terrible things happen to them, which means I could have them happen to me, and then I'm experiencing it. So it's a no. I can't.
No, I love horror movies. I grew up just watching them, and what's it called? I loved October because that meant Halloween or horror flicks all month long. So I would watch Sci-Fi Channel or AMC because they'd have the best movies.
That's like me. I used to love the fact that I could turn on AMC when I think they're back to doing the full month, and then they went to like half month, and then they're back to full month. So it was awesome. It could be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I turn on that channel, and there's some horror movie on. Like, this is awesome. And they're for that channel, they're going to be edited, so they're not completely gross and disgusting. But I would be eating lunch or whatever and watching something on there.
Just some light shows.
Okay. Mark, what's your favorite horror movie?
Oh man, one of my favorites, if I go by like how many times I've watched it, would be Fright Night from 1985, and so it's got some humor, it's got the teenage thing, but it's also got I must have seen that in the theater. Gosh, maybe 5 or 6 times because it was on some double bills. So I'd see one movie and say, "Oh, they're showing Fright Night too. Might as well stick around and watch that again." And I met some of the cast members many, many years later. So that's up there. The first Hellraiser is up there for me with Pinhead. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street in the theater, and it scared the crap out of me. I didn't want to.
Scary.
I didn't want to go to sleep that night.
It's the bed. It's gonna suck you in.
Yeah,
I can't watch crime dramas, like the crime stories and stuff like that. I can't watch that stuff anymore because that's real. Like some of these killers still exist and they're just walking around. I can't do that.
Carlos, what about you for favorite horror movie?
As a kid, I loved Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola one. Lately, I've loved The Witch.
Is that the one with the girl she's like the blonde girl? What is she in? Yeah. She's also in Split, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked that one too. I really enjoyed that.
Which other ones? The Strangers. That one was also creepy because it's about a bunch of people who just like murder this couple in a house. I'm like, that shit can happen. Like, this is real. Like, but yeah, I'm a sucker for horror films.
I wish I could watch them. Maybe one day.
Haunted film.
Yeah. Yeah, I can kind of tell this story now because so this session initially was supposed to be on Friday, yesterday, and this is like many weeks ago when it was first getting planned, and so it was a completely different set of guests at that time. But the one person that I was talking to, she's been in horror films. She's an actress, writer, producer, director. She's married to an actor that played Michael Myers in Halloween. All these kind of things. So I kept thinking, well, maybe we can try to get you in October because of your horror backgrounds and that kind of thing. And then I didn't really hear anything back from her, so I thought, okay, she's not interested. We're just going to move on. And we both laughed about it because her response to me back like 3 weeks ago was, okay, who are the other guests? And so I thought it meant like, okay, tell me who these other people are before I say yes, before I commit to this. And that's how I took it. And she meant, okay, I'll do it. And like, so she messaged me yesterday morning saying, so Mark, how am I supposed to join this fun table thing?
No.
I had to go back and look through the messages against like, did I miss something? And it's like, oh, so she meant it one way. I thought it was another way. So we talked about it.
Yeah, that's what I would think too. Yeah. I feel
and she apologized. Like, I should have said yes, or yes, I can do it, or I should have been more confirming about it. But she's going to be coming on later. So we'll kind of see if it's a October thing or if it's an over. You can have horror all year round, as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah. Some people would call like Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa could be a horror.
Yeah.
All year round.
I like the cheesy ones. Dusk Till Dawn, Elvira's movies, Sounds from Outer Space. Yeah. So I started watching them a long time ago, and it's probably because I was into metal too. So they kind of go hand in hand: horror movies, heavy metal stuff, and I just kind of got used to them. I met the Chiodo brothers; they're awesome. Okay. Now, did you guys enjoy when you were kids? Did you trick or treat? Did you do all that kind of thing when you were growing up?
That's what I'm doing this year.
Oh yeah.
Gotta get the chocolate. Yeah, I did it every single year.
Okay. And do you have any favorite costumes that you remember that you went as when you were growing up?
I was a bumblebee when I was 5. I thought that was really cute. With the rosy cheeks and like the rose dot on my the red dot on my nose.
Uh-huh.
You know, like the antennas. Oh.
Okay. So we had a bumblebee. Anybody else remember anything that stood out when you were trick-or-treating?
The only one I could think of right now is I had a Zorro costume, but yeah.
The movie? The
Yeah.
movie?
So I used to watch the show when they would play it on Disney, like the black and white show when I was a kid.
Mm.
The Mask
Yeah.
of Zorro, but
Yeah, and they've had so many different versions of that. I mean, that character is one of the legendary characters for sure of Zorro. And I'm seeing my mom made me a Rainbow Bright costume when I was 7. I was a tiger. We need a
I love
Tiger's cute.
we need a Kwanzaa horror movie. Anisa, did you trick or treat or anything that?
I did. I was Tigger, and he was my favorit in all of Winnie the
So
Pooh.
cute.
And that was like a really cool time for me. I probably peaked. But then also I was Minnie Mouse.
Okay.
Nice.
As a whole, I tried to be like a witch all year round. Like I want to have that energy forever. But yeah, probably those trick-or-treating costumes were the best.
Okay. I'm sure we have pictures of whatever I was as a kid. I remember I went as 3 different members of KISS 3 different years. So I mean, that's what I remember.
Did you do your own makeup?
My mom did. My mom did the makeup.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And she did a pretty good job with it. I do remember though, like Gene Simmons has these boots that have like I don't know, like little spike things that come off the side. And obviously we didn't have anything like that. So my mom like stapled these little things to the side of my jeans. The problem was that the staples on the inside of the jean were rubbing on my leg, on the skin.
Oh,
Yeah, so as we got home, I kind of had my own horror thing when I took off my pants.
no.
Kind of all red
my
and stuff
God.
down there. But as a kid, you're just happy about the candy. But
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just remember
the
walking
bags of candy.
Yeah, offset the red and the blood or whatever that was going down my leg.
Your own horror story.
Yeah, but those were good times. I always loved that. I loved Halloween. Couldn't wait for it. So let's see. We love Tigger energy. Same problem with antennas. Nice. Okay. Well, let's see here. What's on your desk or table right now? What's in front of you or around you?
See a candle, an air conditioner, a lamp, pillows, stuff like that.
Okay.
My hard drive, a ballet program, a few magazines.
Okay.
I have a snack. I have a birthday cake pop.
Oh.
And I have earrings that I put on, but I realized I'm wearing like big headphone earrings, so I took them off. But they were actually my mom's earrings and she gave them to me, and I love them. So, hey, Mom.
That's cute.
See, my mom made me a Tigger costume. So there's a lot of things to do with tigers and Tiggers.
Tigger was cool.
It is. Yeah, he is.
Like
Drink, phone, water, a picture of Mama Moo. Okay. I've got, I don't have anything fun in front of me just because it's all gear related. I've got my my ring light and I've got a timer here. This is all stuff for interviews. And then, well, no, this beer bottle is not empty. It's going to be empty. I've got a box that my ring light's on. I don't have anything cool because I'm not like at a desk where you have like all kinds of stuff that's kind of set. This stuff always gets moved around all the time because I need it for different things. So yeah, mine's kind of boring. K-pop, go figure. Okay. I went through a K-pop phase. Oh man. I wonder if that stuff's worth anything. I actually collected like a lot of posters and stuff actually from Korea and all that.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Because that was from like 2004, 2005, so it might be stuff that you can't get a hold of anymore. I don't know. Should try to sell it.
Yep.
What's the background on your cell phone?
Oh, that's a good question. It's I have notifications, but there's a show that I'm obsessed with, and I just finished like season 3 last week, but I'm trying to. Well, there's notifications, but it's like this red panda. Oh, well, it's hard to see because of that stuff. But oh no, but I have to like close all of them. So it's like this.
Oh, a gray
Yeah.
Gats.
Yeah, you know, Agretsuko. So if you've never heard of
Agretsuko.
it, it's a Sanrio Japanese anime, and it's about a red panda that is an accountant by day, but at night she screams death metal.
Okay.
And she's like this meek and mild character, but then when she's pissed, she transforms into like this angry red panda and she just screams. And it reminds me of like how I grew up and what I became. She reminds me of my former self. So the show, it's not just entertaining for me, but it also relates to my life too.
That's super cool.
I really like the show. And red pandas are my favorite animals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. I wish I had that much meaning behind my picture on my phone.
Me too.
Because I don't. Mine's just a nighttime thing. Carlos is, let's see. Oh, okay.
Just San Francisco, but
Yeah, I like San Francisco. It's very pretty.
Yeah, mine was I can't show it to you because I'm on my phone, but it's a picture from, I was over at Green Lake and I was waiting to go into this theater show like I think that was in January or December, and it just looked really eerie to me, but also calm. So I took this picture, and that became my background, which hasn't changed since then. So, and Anisa, what about you?
Mine's the background of like my childhood home. Yeah, I went to Colorado and I actually went to go pick up my sister, and we stopped in Colorado, and it was so beautiful. And like, I don't know, there's something about like I had such a good childhood, and like just that moment, like it takes me every time I open it. I'm like, okay, I can do anything.
That's nice. That's nice that you have something like that. I mean, before, because some people change their backgrounds all the time, and I don't. So the one before this was mine forever, and it was the first time, or one of the first times I was ever in a photo pit at a concert shooting, and I didn't even have a camera. I was actually using my phone, and it's so embarrassing. But I got this pretty interesting picture from a band called Nightwish, and so I had that as my background forever, just to kind of remind me every time I opened my phone. This is kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better at this whole media thing, and then I changed it recently. What is that? Colorado is beautiful. Mine is art, and the whole K-pop thing. Okay, nice. This came from round 6, so that was still not Anisa. She was here before that. I'm trying to do the math in my head again to make sure I don't screw this up.
When do they show up?
Trying to keep these new. Where's the last place you would ever go?
Haunted house.
Okay, no haunted houses for Kelsey.
Yeah. In my mind, I'm just like, yeah, that's so cool. It's a new experience. I definitely got to do this. But in reality, it's like anything paranormal or ghost-wise or scary stuff. I'm like, fuck, I can't do this.
Okay.
last place.
This is a hard question.
Yeah.
I'm like exploring my mind so much. I'm like, okay, but would you go there? Yes. Okay, then that's not the answer.
And I'm trying to remember what the guests said during round 6. What did John and Nicole say? What did I say?
Oh, the last place I would go would probably be to a swamp. I am terrified of alligators and crocodiles.
They eat humans.
Yeah,
They're terrifying.
They can climb up trees. Like, did you know that? You could be walking around and a crocodile could like scale a tree with its little tiny legs and get all the way up there, and it could just like come and like death roll you from the sky.
Actually,
It's a
I'm gonna
no.
change my answer. I never want to be in a jungle where there's snakes because I'm fucking terrified of snakes.
No way.
Snakes over ghosts. Like ghosts you can't see, but snakes you can physically see them.
Okay, no snakes, no swamps, no alligators or crocodiles or that. Carlos,
I'd
anything?
say the Amazon rainforest, because the same thing. You've got all these animals there. You've got tarantulas, snakes, anacondas,
Big snake energy.
piranhas.
Yeah, I'm seeing any deep body of water into a grave. Okay. Yeah. Death roll from the sky sounds like a finishing move. A wrestling move.
It's probably going to come up. It's going to be in the next. What are those shark movies that come out that are like
Sharknado.
Yes, it's going to be
Yeah.
the next Sharknado, but it's going to be alligators and they're coming down.
That is kind of a cool title. Death roll from the sky. It sounds like an album title or a song title for like a metal band or something.
Of fear.
I don't remember what I said. What would I say now? Last place I would ever want to go or be. Oh, well, this would be easy and kind of a no-brainer. I would never want to be inside of a Klan meeting.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think I'd be welcome. So.
Yeah, I mean, I
Unanimous vote.
Yeah.
I saw that really interesting documentary about the black jazz musician that was befriending people from the Klan, from supremacy groups, and he was actually getting them to convert quite organically, and that was interesting. But I would never be that person. I'm glad he's doing that kind of work because that's not going to work for me. And I've had my share of encounters, and we have some of those groups right here in Seattle. So, and it's interesting because, like for me growing up here, not to get too serious, but I just remember that we had some guys in our junior high that were really anti anything, Asian, black, whatever. We didn't have that many students that were of color, but they were okay with me, and I don't know why, because it wasn't like I was half or somehow I passed off as something else. They would talk all kinds of shit about this Chinese guy, that Japanese guy, that Mexican girl, that kind of thing, but they would be okay with me, and I never understood it because I would see them at concerts too, and they might be doing shit to other people that they didn't even know, but then they saw me and said, well, "Hey, Mark," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not with you, but you're not." To this day, I never understood that. It's just really weird. Alligator tornado. Oh, okay. Putting the Sharknado and the other thing together. I was like,
That's my worst fear. They're doing it right now.
My brain can't catch up sometimes when it comes to what we're talking about and what's in the chat. Goodness. This one. I know we answered this one too. Name one memory you keep going back to.
LA.
Okay.
All good memories from that city.
When were you down there?
2000, a bit during 2014, mostly from 2016 to 2018.
Okay. All right. That's nice.
I actually have a memory that my sisters and I were just talking about, and it was in Colorado, and my mom, we ended up watching, I think it's Batman. Oh man, what's the one with what's her name? Uma Thurman is Poison Ivy.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember vividly. Like I was little, and we watched. That was on the TV, and it was so cool. And my mom made chocolate chip pancakes. And I was like, I've made it. Like, my life can never get better than this moment.
Nice.
And
So-
for me, I think it's my first Euro trip with my friends. Like just leaving, going abroad with friends with no parental supervision. I think was like the coolest thing ever. So I always like go back and think about it.
Nice. Where did you go over there? Or
I went to Milan, and I was there by chance during Fashion Week.
Oh, nice.
So it was like me getting off the bus, and I'm like, man, everyone looks like a model here. I was in Paris, London, Amsterdam, Madrid, and Barcelona.
wow.
That sounds fun. You went to all the major cities.
cool. And
Yeah.
I want to do that one day.
Industrial Girl is saying, Kelsey, if you come back to LA, she'll show you around. So if you ever get
Who's
back,
that?
I have here in the chat. She,
Wait, who's that person? In the chat?
she is. I know her from Alice. She's one of the Alice fans that I know, and so she's done it. She's done it in
Tell
East
her I
LA.
said hi. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. So and what memory do I go back? Oh, I remember what I said. I was talking about the first year that I was teaching back in a long time ago. Today I should have a different answer. Well, I know this week what my memory's been going back to is the week getting ready for the Alice tour back in May. That's what I remember because I was a freaking mess. I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to be professional. I was trying to get this makeshift gear together to do these virtual interviews. I'm trying to figure out, how I'm going to come across because I'm not used to doing this kind of thing when you're talking to people like a newscaster. And I was staying up really late because I was really nervous because I couldn't get to sleep because of my nerves. And it was just building and building and building till the Friday when we finally launched the tour. And I was. It's been well documented that I was not in the best position at that time when we went live. But I got through it, and then we got through the second one, the third one, and then things got easier and better. But I do remember that week, and like, oh my gosh! And now I can think about this coming week before we go to the third leg, and how different it is. How much more comfortable and confident, and I'm looking forward to, and it's going to be fun, and I can't wait to get things going. Versus last time was like, oh gosh, what did I forget? What about this? And what if this happens? And I was like a big worry wart, and that all turned out fine. It was cool. And a lot of the folks like Industrial Girl and Dusty and Tony and Captain Blackwood and I met these other Alice fans through that tour virtually. So we've never met in person, but because they've been part of the tours and the streams and everything, it's been awesome that my world got bigger virtually.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. And even like right now, I was thinking about this. I don't know how I came across Kelsey. I saw a music video like 2 years ago.
Yeah, how did you find me?
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good question. I was just like, I'm so curious, how did you find me?
Wait, you're trying to stay low and hide out?
Oh, no. I appreciate it. I've
No,
always
no.
wanted someone to interview me, and finally he reached out to me, and I was like, I wonder how he found me.
No, I'm just kidding. I remember that you had somebody must have been someone shared your video that you were performing live from a club. I want to say somewhere in Canada, I think, and you're singing a song.
Oh, celebrities,
Maybe-
yeah.
Yeah, maybe like 2 years ago,
Mhm.
roughly.
Yeah.
Mark, you stalker. you got me.
I appreciate it.
I'm just gonna turn my cam off now.
Mark.
And everyone knows now. But yeah, I think it was that. And so I went and saw you had at some point you had an actual music video that was like shot, and there was like even a band playing a song, I remember. And then at that point, yeah, so that's how you're kind of on my radar initially, and then it kind of faded to whatever. And then when this tour stuff started, I started thinking about people that I wanted to reach out to, and I can't remember if you posted something or if I just started thinking about like who did I know?
I think I posted something recently, like the last couple months, and then you happened to find me again, I guess. Yeah.
Yep, that's probably that, and
Interesting.
that's how it came back that we're talking. And then in Anisa's case, she already knows this, that I saw her perform in the Nutcracker back in December.
Oh wow.
And then I don't know. I mean, I still have my program and stuff. I don't know if I saw a performance when Carlos, you were there too, or Or I know it kind of depends on which ones.
No, actually, I think you stalked me though.
Fanboy.
No, no, it was it must have been that show.
I would think so. Everyone's gonna be just saying Mark's a stalker. He's a fucking stalker. But what I remember is that I was in the parking lot of the Edmonds Performance Center, the Center for the Arts there, and the Seahawk game. I'm a sports person. The Seahawk game was not over yet, so I was in my car waiting to see what the score was going to be before I went in to see the performance of the Nutcracker that you guys did. Industrial Girl is asking what kind of music does Kelsey play? So Kelsey, if you want to answer that.
I described my sound as rock with gent influence, but I'm trying to push it more in a metalcore direction, which is why I'm trying to get better with my screams. So rock for now, but later on it's going to be more metalcore, prog metal, gent, stuff like that.
There you go. And Industrial Girl, if you look at Kelsey and then Luo, Luo, you can find her on Facebook. And
check out my stuff. Message me.
there you go. So in 2 months it'll have been a year since I saw OBT. Almost 2.
Wow.
That's nuts to me.
Time flies.
Yeah. Geez, that's crazy. It just dawned on me. Obviously,
Man, I was still in my 20s.
30s is better.
30 is the new 20.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Did you ever see 13 going on 30?
Although I don't want to switch bodies with my mom.
Freaky Friday.
Oh, no, wait, no. That's Freaky Friday.
I know tons of places in LA to expose you to the dark side.
The dark side. Oh, I've been to the dark side in LA. Wait, depending on what she's talking about.
The dark side or the dark side?
I guess there's only one way to find out. To go down there. Okay, here's something that I know was also asked during number 6 because people were laughing at me. What's something that you've never been able to do well?
Screams? Or, well, if I, like, apart from music, I've just never been good at math. Yeah, I'm not good at math. I wish I was more book smart, I guess, better at math and science. I'm not a STEM person. I wish I was better at technology. Yeah, it's hard. It's very hard.
Okay. All right.
I hate science. Like,
I hate most science.
bio, chemistry.
Chemistry, physics, anything with, like, numbers, I'm like, oh.
I now hate medical terminology.
I'm like the dumb Asian that no one wanted to cheat off in high school because they're like, she doesn't know what she's doing. It's true. It's like, have you ever met an Asian that wasn't good at math? I'm just like, there's me.
You have to. I've never been good at math. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Damn. Okay, I don't feel so alone anymore.
You're not alone. That stereotype.
How did your parents feel about you? It's like, this kid's useless.
Well, part of it might be, my parents were born here in the States, so they're Americanized. Yeah, I have a different type of pressure, if you want to call it that. So they just wanted me to get good grades. I mean, the fact that I wasn't good at math was not a huge thing. Like they weren't saying you need to be a doctor, all that typical kind of the Asian parent stuff. But I was good until 8th grade. Then I started having problems with math, and it just continued. And I was like, But so I guess that's one thing I'm not good at. But I don't know if anybody was watching any of the other ones when I mentioned what I'm not good at is that, especially as a musician or an artist or whatever, I've never been able to snap my fingers.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't think I can either.
And I know Industrial Girl was watching that one. Yeah, see, it doesn't matter what fingers, what method, what hand. I've never been able to snap my fingers, and it's annoying as hell.
I can't either.
Yeah,
Very
I
ever
don't.
so slightly.
I don't know what the deal is. This has been going on forever. And some people that I know who snap really loud, they'll just do it behind me, snapping, just knowing that I can't. It's like, oh, great. I need new friends.
Shun the non-believers.
Anisa, you kind of pointed the same thing about the math.
I mean, it's math. I'm so bad at math. I am so bad at math.
This is like all of us.
I wish. I
Peace
tried
out,
so
guys.
hard. Yeah, I'm like, drop the mic. We're done. Close the stream. We've done it. No, I'm so bad. Like, I try so hard, and I'll still like sit there and like count with my fingers, because I'll be like, all right, yeah, you know it, and it's just bad. I don't know how people are good at it. I wish I could have that.
I think it's genetics, like if your parents are good at something or not good at something, it tends to carry over. But then again, my
dad's good at
parents
math.
are good at math.
Yeah.
If my parents are, I'm not. I don't know how it happened.
They skipped me. Maybe they went to my sisters, but like
Yeah,
I don't
to my
got it.
brother.
Yeah, it could be one of those things that skips a generation.
You got the talent, so.
Well,
It's
that's
math, though.
isn't that interesting that you have 4 creatives here, and none of us are loving sciences or maybe math or those kind of things. And I know we have some of the people in the chat though that are very tech oriented, so I think they probably do love math and numbers, and it floats their boat. But yeah, I'm envious if that's your thing, because I've never. Yeah, it created all kinds of issues for me. I don't think I ever asked this question, or maybe I did. If you could replace the handshake as a greeting, what interesting new greeting would you replace it with?
Butt bumps.
Butt bump.
High five.
Okay. High five.
Sorry, no hands or.
No, just that you're not doing a handshake. So high five would work. That's
Yeah,
still
high
different.
five,
But that's different.
The first thing that came to me was like to blink. Like I don't want anyone to touch me. I just want like to see that you've acknowledged my presence.
That's good. And so if someone blinks a lot, that could be like they're a really friendly person. Or
Maybe like when
Morse
people are like,
Morse
oh,
code.
I'm a bad
Like what?
winker, they like make it really obvious. Maybe like a, and you'd be like, I saw that.
Okay, a chin toss. Okay, I do that anyway. All right, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That blinking one's actually pretty good because I think everyone can do that.
Everyone can blink. You can make it like really obvious, like we're friends too. And then you're like, oh my gosh, like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what else would people do? I've never chest bumped anyone ever in my life.
It's fun.
I don't know.
Stomp clap.
Yeah, or anything. That's weird. Because I think where that came from was that somebody was saying that because of the germ thing, they didn't want to shake hands. So what else could they do? And they were talking about just doing like a little bow, and they're talking about some of these other. This is what the other guests were saying. I was trying to remember what else they had talked about. But yeah, do you guys miss like being able to touch, shake hand, hug during this time?
I'm just being able to hang out with like a group of people, because now before it was like 6 to 10 people within a small circle, but it's been limited to 2 to 6 now. Yeah, just this week actually. So
Okay.
Like, do you remember when we were able to share drinks with people and
remember when we were able to see live music and go out and do stuff? Oh.
get into mosh pits and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like it's a world away. Yeah, just like if you're having a meal with your friends or whatever, and you're trying some of their food, or like sharing a drink, or you're all bumping into each other at a show or something like that, or standing in a line to get into a show. But it's kind of weird. I see some people saying I miss giving hugs. I'm okay with hugs now. I know for the longest time I was it kind of depended on who it was, because then it became so normal. Like if you didn't even know somebody, like, oh hey, it was nice meeting you or whatever, and I'm kind of like, well, okay.
No, I like hugs, but I like good hugs, not those little. Good to see you. I hate that.
Yeah, it's awkward. Yeah.
Like, but I'm a very like handshake, hug type of person.
Yeah.
So I do miss that.
Yeah.
My sisters
Oh,
miss my
Gizmo.
hugs. I have allergies and I blink a lot because of my dry. Oh, okay. Well,
This is Rowan's cat, Gizmo.
Oh,
That was pretty.
you can.
Oh, so cute. What breed is it?
Short-haired something. I'm not 100% sure.
Carlos, are you a cat person?
Originally, no. I'm a dog person.
Okay.
But Gizmo's an exception.
Some cats are friendly. Some cats have dog personalities.
Yeah, some do. I think my brother and my sister-in-law's cat has a dog personality.
Oh,
Very, very much so. Do you know, was Gizmo named after the Gremlins character by chance?
I think so. Yeah.
Because when I hear that name Gizmo, I immediately go to Gremlins. That's what I think about, and Gizmo being that main gremlin. Looks like my cat Pokey. Pokey. I don't give hugs unless they're requested. Oh yeah. Yeah, Anisa, do you have any pets?
I have a dog, but she stays with my sister right now, and then my two sisters both have cats.
Mm.
But my mom, she always had this belief that cats were evil, and so none of my sisters had cats. Like she was like, the cat will suck the life out of the babies, but we weren't babies anymore. But she was like adamant, so we never had cats. And now it's funny that my sisters both have cats, and now I'm in a house with two cats.
So is your mom past that now? Or is she still concerned that?
No, she is 100% sure that cats will still steal the breath from babies. Like she sees them and she's like, oh no.
That's some hocus pocus shit.
Yeah, it's some hocus pocus. I mean, she's Mexican Catholic, and that's like it's there, and you see it, and you're like, hey, the cats are cool, and she's like, nah, I know.
Oh man, my mom's scared of dogs, so it's like every time she sees a dog, even like a small one, she's like, "Ah, they're gonna bite me." I'm like, "No, they're this big. You're this big. It's okay. It's okay." It's like, "No!" Runs away.
Oh.
Excuse me, Kelsey. Does that mean you don't have any pets then right now?
I don't have any pets. I definitely want a dog later on, but if I do get a dog, it would be a puppy, and I want to be there to raise it. So I don't know how that's possible unless I work from home in the future. Well, we'll see what happens. I definitely do want to get a dog, like for sure.
Okay. I'm just seeing one of my cats plays fetch. I'm a cat person, follows me around. Yeah, I'm more of a dog person. If I ever get to a point where either like my schedule kind of allows me to have a dog, or if I'm in a house, I'm in an apartment right now, so one of those two things has to happen. Or if I have a partner that would be home, because once we get past this, a lot of times in the evenings, I'm not home, so I can't have a dog here.
Exactly. It's hard.
To take them out and take them for a walk and do their business and all that kind of stuff. And luckily, I figured that out early on before I got one. So, but I do miss having one. I just have to get my dog fix from other people's dogs.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna go get another drink.
Okay, no problem.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna get water.
Okay.
Lisa, what number?
And Carlos, we kind of talked about that while everyone's refueling or what have you. But when you were down in San Francisco, so is that where you were raised as well?
So I'm born and raised in San Francisco. Yeah, and I never left the city until 3 years ago. But yeah, it was interesting moving up to Seattle, not ever having been in Washington State at all. So yeah, it was an interesting experience.
What were your first impressions? What do you remember when you first came up here? A good and bad.
Very green. No, it's all good. It was just like very green, just seeing all the trees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the trees, the mountains.
I suppose it helped coming from San Francisco, meaning that like the climate's not too different versus like if you're from the East Coast somewhere or Midwest or something, that's kind of in the ballpark, I would think.
Yeah, although I expected it to rain more in Seattle when I moved up here. But I mean, I think it's pretty similar comparatively, weather-wise, which is why I think I like it. I hate hot weather. I hate overly cold weather. It just has to be at that right spot.
That's why most of us that have lived here like it, yeah, because it's basically a moderate climate for all of the seasons. I mean, we have exceptions every now and then, but for the most part, yeah, you get all 4 seasons. It's not super hot. It's not going to be like freezing all winter long.
Right.
It's nice. I mean, I know some people in the chat right now are like, they can't identify with that at all because they're used to it being either super hot, like if they're down in LA, and then it just kind of stays warm for the most part. We have somebody that was in back in Ohio. Fall and spring last for like 3 weeks. It's either really long summers and long winters. And how are the skies looking, Carlos?
Oh, the skies are bad in San Francisco after the fires. It was pretty, but I think it's cleared up now. Seattle's not too bad either. Like although it's foggy now, surprisingly, it looks like San Francisco. But I think if it weren't for the heat of LA, I would love LA. One of the big reasons is because I love rockabilly music, and there's a big rockabilly scene in LA. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like what you were just saying earlier, this whole day it never cleared up. It's just been gray and foggy most of today.
Yeah, it's been
really
weird.
Yeah, it's almost like our own horror movie is starting up or something. It just stays like that on the board.
The fog.
Do you play any instruments? I mean, you mentioned that you're in the rockabilly music.
Yeah, I play guitar, but it's like I play and then I stop for a year or two, and then I pick it up again, and I play it for a good year, and then it's like this ongoing, stopping, ongoing process. Like my goal is to be in a band at some point. I'm like, that way I'd been on stage like in a band, as a ballet dancer, as an actor. I think I'm just trying to hit all the points as an artist.
Nice.
Oh, Hootenanny would be good. Yeah.
Well, and I forgot. Maybe you can speak to that while the other folks are still getting refreshed. You were in a production at the Fifth Avenue, is that right?
Yeah, I did West Side Story, and as a dancer, one of my goals was to at least do something by Jerome Robbins, and to do something like West Side Story. I think it was great. The music, the dancing.
Nice. And when was that approximately?
That was last year, from like in June, May to June.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you done things prior to that in terms of acting wise?
Yeah, so in San Francisco, I was studying acting prior to moving up here. I had been studying acting for about 2 years because I figured, as an artist, you're always growing, and anything you can do to improve your stage presence just makes you a better artist in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just never stop learning. Anything you could learn. Just absorb as much as you can.
Sure.
So I figured I'd learn acting. I'd take voice lessons. What else did I do? I think the only thing I didn't cover was like gymnastics or any of those things. But
you're right. I mean, there's so many people that if you meet them, or if I've interviewed some folks and maybe they're known as an actor, then you find out they sing, they dance, they paint, there's all those kind of things, and it just kind of makes sense to have more tools in your toolkit.
Yeah,
Ink and
Let's see.
Iron Festival was great too.
I've heard of that one. Yeah, there's also Viva Las Vegas, which is like a 4-day event in Vegas during Easter weekend. Just rockabilly, psychobilly music, car shows, pinup shows.
Nice. Now, have you seen any rockabilly or psychobilly shows here before the pandemic in Seattle?
I did. I saw the Necromantics at El Corazon.
Yep.
Let's see. I saw the Delta Bombers at Funhouse. I was gonna go see Tiger Army at the Showbox, but that got canceled when the virus hit.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then there was like a psychobilly brawl at El Corazon as well last year that I went to.
Was that?
Oh, and Reverend Horton Heat.
Okay. Okay. What the heck did I covered Tiger Army, but what year was that? 2000, maybe 17 or 18 at the Showbox. And it was interesting because it was like a co-headlining thing, so they had them, but then the other band, which was also good, but they were not psychobilly or rockabilly at all. So it was kind of a weird mix in the audience that everyone was kind of front and center when Tiger Army played, because if I remember right, that's right, they played first. And then when the other band came on, people kind of went back to the bars, and then their crowd kind of was standing around and kind of taking them in, which was Murder by Death.
Okay.
And they're kind of like a more of a folky rock thing.
Yeah, I think I must have seen the same tour in San Francisco. Because I remember there was like a band that was not within like the genre. I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Yeah, I bet you it was the same tour then, because I only knew Tiger Army. I didn't know Murder by Death at all. So I'm like, well, what are these guys like? And when they came out, I'm like, and they're really they're good, but they're just very different. And they actually probably should have went on first, because Tiger Army's energy was so high. And then when they left, and then Murder by Death was kind of like more subdued. It was like, I only stayed for like half their set, if I remember right. And that had nothing to do. Again, they sounded good and everything, but I just wasn't feeling it. So I covered Necromantics. They're hilarious. Okay. I know the Delta Bombers. They're friends with my friends.
The Delta Bombers. Yeah, the Delta Bombers are good. And then I pretty much like a lot of the bands by Wild Records. Hands down, really good.
Do you remember what got you into those styles of bands?
Yeah, it's weird. I was actually playing, I think it was Guitar Hero, and Rock This Town came on by the Stray Cats, and I'm like, what is this? And then, from like the Stray Cats, I started delving into like Carl Perkins, Gene Vincent, all these old like founders of like rockabilly, Buddy Holly, and then that moved on to like Tiger Army, and then Tiger Army to Necromantics, and then you get like I found the Cramps, and
nice.
Yeah.
I think for me, even when the Stray Cats were first coming out in the early '80s, that was my first kind of introduction to that style of music. And
Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. I was fixing my eyelash. I'm wearing the magnetic ones right now, and then I literally got the glue like all over my face.
Oh no!
It's terrible.
Yeah, your timing is perfect, because Anisa just came back, and then you just came back like a few seconds later. So no, we're all good. Carlos and I, we're talking about rockabilly and psychobilly bands and that kind of thing. So,
it's interesting though. Yeah, interesting that rockabilly, like a genre that only existed from like mid 50s to like a little bit, like a few years, it died, but there's been this subculture ever since. Let's see. I remember seeing the Cramps at Hootenanny. Oh, that must have been so cool watching the Cramps. Industrial Girl. Who's the which? Let's see. My friend's band. Yeah, if you could write down your friend's band, I'd love to listen to that.
Cool. And Kelsey, you doing okay up there?
Please. Have you ever worn magnetic eyelashes, Anisa?
No, they kind of scare me.
They're like
Wait,
so you know like
so
the
how-
regular ones are okay, so you know like the regular ones, like the glue-on ones, and then there's like the extension ones. So the magnetic ones basically have magnets on them, but you use like the glue formula, but it's a lot stickier than the regular formula. And instead of it's kind of like wearing the regular ones, except they're supposed to last longer because they're magnets, but the glue is super powerful and it's just super sticky. And I personally feel like the magnets don't really stay in place. It's a girl thing, but it's just this is like my second box of magnetic ones.
So when you use the magnetic ones, do you have to actually put glue on?
Yeah.
You still
Even though
do
they're
have to use
magnets,
glue.
so like the magnets are supposed to stick to the glue.
Huh.
But
Does
yeah,
it feel
it's
better
part of
like
the pair
peeling
layer.
it off?
No, it feels worse. It actually makes the
then what's the
regular one so
perk?
much easier. It's just supposed to be waterproof, but they're not.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe it's the ones that I got, but god damn it. Okay.
Well, I just remember, Kelsey, before our interview back in August, that you
Oh
were
my
having
god,
problems.
it's literally it was like the same magnetic ones, but I had a different pair from AliExpress and they sucked, so I got one from Amazon. And these ones have good reviews, but I think it's just too much of a hassle for me. I like the regular ones more. Ah, fuck my life. Anyways, carry on.
Yeah, no. And then I see like the Industrial Girl put in that band, I believe, for you, Carlos. So
Yeah, I got that one down.
cool. Anisa, I can't remember if we talked about this, but what kind of music do you like? What do you listen to?
I really like sad songs. I want a banjo. I want to imagine that I'm under a tin roof sitting outside to give like all my heartbreak, and I want someone to be serenading me on perhaps a banjo, maybe with their own voice, telling me how sad I am, and I'm like, you know what? Nailed it. No, so it's probably like alternative and then drifts into folk, or I do listen to some hip hop and pop. My boyfriend really loves hip hop, so I've been introduced to more bands like that. I used to be in a really heavy, what is it called? It's not EDM, dubstep.
Oh,
I was in a huge
hate
dubstep
dubstep.
phase. I loved it. I don't know. But also, though, I would listen to it when I was like working out and stuff. And everything about like that music would like pump me up. So
You know, that makes sense. My friend's band plays that drunk country heartbreak shit.
I don't want country though. I don't necessarily like the twang. I just really like it. Oh, come
Bluesy.
on, guys, come on. I'm just here. Yeah, I don't know. I really like. I don't know if you guys know it, but I think the song is called. It's by Agnes Obel, and it's called "It's Happening." And I really appreciate that song. I think it's really beautiful. But
I don't know the song. I've heard of her as an artist, though. I have heard her name.
yeah, I can send it to you. It's a really just a beautiful. I don't know, the voice and the way she expresses herself. I really appreciate it, and I don't know, it resonates with me. So
Okay.
yes, thank you, Dusty Chalk.
Oh yeah, I obviously my taste is all over the map. It's probably easier for me to say what styles I really don't resonate with than the ones that I do, because there's just too many of them. But back when I was an early teenager, it was definitely rock and metal and all that kind of stuff. But then I think just completely broadened up, especially when I started playing guitar. Then my mind started opening up a lot more different styles of music. And what's that archive again? Just don't.
I'm not gonna lie, like my guilty pleasure is My Chemical Romance.
They're great. I grew up with. Well, I listened to that during high school. Like all throughout high school, it was like Taking Back Sunday, My Chemical Romance, Brand New.
It's like nostalgic.
And they're still huge and famous and rich until the day they die.
Now, so help the old man out here. Weren't they supposed to do like a big tour this year before COVID happened?
Yeah, yeah. They were supposed to
Yes,
get back
and it
together
was so
like one big reunion
expensive.
show. Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought they were playing Tacoma Dome or something when they were
Yeah,
supposed to come
they were
here.
gonna play, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Although I'm not gonna lie, they're great showmanship. Like they're great like showmen. My Chemical Romance is really good on stage.
I don't think I've ever seen them. Oh.
Yeah. I saw them with Billy Talent. I don't know if they're still a band anymore.
Oh
or-
yeah, I loved them back in the day. They're Canadian. Ballet Talent was really good. Back in the day, they were really good.
Okay. Yeah, these are only like artist names that I've heard. I don't know their music.
We'll send you an email.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Little
We'll give
Instagram
Mark homework.
message.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
blow up my inbox with stuff. So here you go, Mark. Catch up.
Bands from the new kids.
Okay. Let me ask you just a general question. Did any of you even know who Alice was before we did our interviews?
No, but I checked them out after.
Okay. Is there any song that happened to resonate just off the top of your head?
I don't
names
remember
of
the
songs,
name.
so it's more like
Same.
they're very theatrical.
I do also, though, I have to say, I really appreciate the music videos. As a dancer, I love the way they utilize I don't know, they just I don't know who the dancers are, but I really appreciate it. And it's something that you wouldn't necessarily see with this kind of music, and then having that kind of artistic presence. And I really love the melding. It's really cool.
Yeah, no, the first interview I did was with 4 of the dancers that are friends of the band that they've collaborated with a lot, and I think they're actually working on a new one right now. Last I heard. So, and that I think stems from Sasha's, who's one of the background singer in Alice. She's got an extensive dance background, so I think she's the one that loves bringing that element. Plus, she's directed a lot of their videos, so it kind of became something that she's really, and the band themselves are into it too, not just her, but I know distinctly that that's kind of her deal. So, and Kelsey might like Mankind is Obsolete. That's true because of their industrial background. Mark, tell them about Mankind is Obsolete and Alice Underground. Okay, so let's see here. So Mankind is Obsolete. So let me back up. There's the Alice Collective, and people can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of like the umbrella term. So Mankind is Obsolete started with Tosh Cox, who's the singer of Alice, but then Scott Landis, who's the guitarist, and Gordon Bash, who's the bassist, also spent time in Mankind is Obsolete. And so that's very much an industrial sound for the band. And then there's also Alice Underground, which is their gypsy jazz swing band. So they have the 5 members of Alice plus a horn player. And there's also Bash Rock, which is the 3 guys in Alice are in a punk rock band. And then you have Alice. So there's actually 4 bands underneath this umbrella.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all different styles of music. And on this upcoming tour, Mankind is Obsolete is going to do a full set, which they have not done in years. So they're bringing back their old drummer and all these kind of things. So, and they've done live Alice Underground sets too. So it trips me out when I watch them because it's like, well, wait a minute, they're playing all this swing jazz stuff, and then they're playing this hardcore industrial stuff, and then they're playing what Alice does, like electro pop, and then the Bash Rock guys will be doing their punk thing. So it's like
all different.
Yeah, I love the fact that they don't pigeonhole themselves at all. It's kind of like, we want to do this project, and we're going to do it. I think, why not do it? And I know at some point, Tosh and Sasha told me 3 years ago that they have done 3 of the bands on the same concert. So they do a set, go change, do a different set, change, and come back out. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'd love to see them actually do all of that maybe on one of these virtual tours, or maybe next year if they have to do another virtual tour. Hopefully they're back on the road, actually in clubs and stuff. But that's cool. So let's see. Several of them have theater and art school backgrounds. That's true. Members of Alice. Metal Moo, yeah. If you haven't heard who Metal Moo is or seen, they've got another Metal Moo episode coming up during the tour. So it's easier to watch than to explain what Metal Moo is.
What's that?
Yeah, and I think it even says on the Facebook event description, they'll say Metal Moon Night #2 or something like that. So, yeah, I was just kind of curious about that. Hmm. Oh, well, did we ask this one?
Can you get me my water?
Okay. What's the luckiest thing that's ever happened to you?
That's a really good question.
Or maybe a lucky thing?
You think?
For me,
I mean, oh, you
go
can
for
go
it.
first. You go first.
No. You... Okay. So I used to work overnight shifts for Banana Republic when I was living in San Francisco, and we would always have lunch around 1 a.m. and we would go to 7-Eleven around the block. One day I'm getting ready to pay for my things, and I look down at the little candy stand, and there's like this wad of money, like a bunch of money, and I'm like, huh. So I try to be as like unsuspicious as possible, like to grab it without seeming like I'm shoplifting something. But yeah, it's a bunch of like 5 and 1s, like definitely like drug dealing money. And that was like, I would say probably like $200 in that. And I'm like, man, that felt great. I was like,
What?
oh my God, this will never happen to me again.
Oh wow! I wish something like that happened to me.
Wow, nice. Some found money. That's always
That's pretty great.
yeah, especially that amount. Goodness. Anybody else?
Not anything, not like in particular, but I guess this year I was supposed to have surgery next year, but I ended up getting it after 6 months of waiting, like pretty recently. So I guess I got lucky with the surgery date. Yeah. So yeah, just stuff like I don't know. Seems like it's not. Well, yeah, better earlier than later, you know.
Yeah, no, and then I know Industrial Girl's talking about that. She mentioned before she got stabbed, but survived, and $50 from a $2 scratch ticket. Dusty Chalk found $100.
Wow, that's damn.
Yeah,
Dude, that's crazy to get stabbed.
Yeah, seriously, props to her. Like, what exactly did she get stabbed? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if she wants to talk about that. Anisa, anything come to mind for yourself?
I mean, kind of also in the same vein as like Industrial Girl. I was in Colorado in the 2012. I went to the Midnight Batman premiere when the shooter happened in Aurora. And my sister and I both went to both midnight premieres in the same kind of 10-mile radius from Aurora. And Aurora was one of the theaters that me and my friends were kind of looking at to going. So I don't know, that whole moment is just kind of like, it's not really like I don't know. That's probably the luckiest I've ever been. And my sister too. And on like a lighter note, probably just like my family. Like I really enjoy them.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, sorry. I have another one actually going like similar to, I didn't get stabbed to Industrial Girl, but I was held up at gunpoint. One day I was coming home from like ballet class. Same street I walked through to get home. Got held up. Gave them everything I had. Went to report it to the police. Somehow I'm like letting people know what happened on Facebook. Like, hey, listen, my phone got stolen. I was robbed at gunpoint. You can reach me through here. I noticed that a friend posted something about a friend being killed that night. And I'm like, huh, what happened? She's like, yeah, like literally 20 minutes ago when my friend was shot. I'm like, huh, that's kind of weird. I was just robbed about like 40 minutes ago. That same case, like, was all interrelated. It was the same group of guys going around
So
within
it's
a
like
1 mile
gang of people.
radius. And I'm like,
Wow.
shit.
So like the whole span of things, you actually got lucky.
Yeah.
Unlucky, but yeah. Did they ever? Did they find like the person that?
So yeah, I had to like testify in court and everything because like I somehow was calm enough to remember like what they were wearing that night, what type of gun it was. When I talked to the detectives, apparently it was a revolver that was stolen out of a police vehicle too. So
That's crazy.
but yeah, they got arrested. They got prosecuted.
That's
like,
good.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you look
Yeah.
back on it, it's lucky, but at the time, I'm sure it's like Jesus. Yeah, I can't imagine what that's like to get held up at gunpoint, let alone then find out there's connection to someone getting shot by the same
Right.
suspect.
Yeah.
Yikes!
But it's so weird because it happened like so fast. I was on my phone, I looked up, and there was a gun at my face, and I'm just like, shit.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's. Well,
If that ever happens to me, I'm gonna make sure I look at the gun.
What I would say probably is like be as calm as possible. Like, I think people hesitate when like you start going crazy, they get nervous, and like
Yeah.
shit happens. I think that's probably
That's a good
what saved me. I was just like,
Yeah, definitely.
here, I'm not gonna fight you. Like,
Yeah.
just take my stuff.
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
can
good
only
job.
I can only chime in that recently with one of these survival jobs that I had started, that was part of the training, that if somebody comes in and wants money from the cash register, just give it to them. Don't fight it,
Right.
don't do anything, don't look them in the eye, just let them get what they want, and then they'll most likely leave, because your life's more important than anything else, including the
Yeah.
money in the store.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to hear that from my manager at the time, because I'm like, yeah, what happens? What am I supposed to do? Because I'm not going to risk my life over, $15 an hour or whatever you're paying me.
Yeah.
Right.
Forget that. Take everything you want. Just leave me alone. I guess on the flip side for me, one of my lucky things, which is a positive thing, was that in, what year was that? 2004. It was my first year as a season ticket holder for the Seattle Storm, which is the WNBA basketball team, who are actually trying to get their 4th championship right now. And so they went all the way to the championship. They actually won it all my first year as a season ticket holder. So it's like, I can't get any better than this. And I remember I came home during one of the playoff games, and there was a FedEx envelope outside of my door. And I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of weird. I know I wasn't expecting anything. And it said WNBA on it. So I'm like, what is this? This must be a mistake. Opened it up. There was actually a drawing and like a contest that was being held for season ticket holders across the league. And I was one of the runner-ups. And it said, you're automatically put into this drawing without me even knowing it. So I'm like, what did I win? What did I win? I'm trying to read the fine print and stuff. And I won $1,000.
That's awesome.
Whoa.
Nice.
So
You
Nice.
beat his story.
yeah, so it basically paid for my entire season. So I got to see the season for free,
great.
and they won
That's
it all.
awesome.
Yeah, it
Man,
couldn't have been
one
better.
of these days that better happen to me. I'm gonna manifest it. It's like this year I'm gonna win money.
Yeah, 2020 is gonna be the year for you, Kelsey.
Yeah, I hope.
Get those lotto tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing like having. It's kind of like what Carlos was saying initially. Is like when you have something happen that you weren't expecting. In my case, he found that wad of money there, and in my case, I find a FedEx thing that I didn't even know I was entering into a contest. It wasn't like I was trying to do it; it just happened.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that was very, very lucky. And I'm seeing Industrial Girls talking about her ordeal. It looks like 6-foot racist. Okay,
Oh.
well, that's no good.
Yeah. They should brand all racists like they did in Inglourious Bastards.
So fucked.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What is that sound I'm hearing? Is anybody? Oh, okay. Never mind.
What is it?
Was it?
It's like a rattle of like almost like a necklace kind of
keys?
sound. Yeah. Is someone messing with?
Is that-
I don't hear
It's
it at all.
probably me.
Oh, it's you.
I stopped. I'll stop. I didn't realize you guys could hear that. Like, I'm so sorry for everybody. That's horrible.
No, I fidget too.
Whoops. Well,
No,
it's gone.
No, it's just, it's more of a curious thing for me. Like, what is that sound? Where's that coming from? Not like an annoyance thing. It's more like
Until like 20 minutes later, and you're like, wow, that's like really annoying.
well,
Is it a ghost?
I'm sorry, everybody in the chat.
No, you're good. I fidget too. I'm just using this. I'm just tapping on
well, and I think the other thing, knock on wood, is that the sound tonight is really, really clear for me. Like all three of you, I can hear every little thing. Sometimes it's someone's connection, maybe it's kind of so, but not tonight. So I'm hearing every little detail as Gizmo walks
As I
past.
have butt in my face.
Yeah, all are triggering. Okay.
Sorry, industrial girl. I'll stop being triggering as much as I can.
Okay, here's something that we might be able to all answer. Have you ever met someone that you considered famous and then the encounter was either really gratifying or really disappointing?
Gratifying or disappointing? Not like famous per se, but one of the bands I listen to, they're called like a female-fronted rock band called Rivals. I met the vocalist, and I was really, really nervous to meet her because I just think she's an incredible vocalist, and I get really starstruck when I meet musicians that I love. So when I met her, like, she was really down to earth and cool. Then I posted a photo of her on Instagram, and she actually commented on it, and she wrote, "Work hard and life repays." And that comment has stuck by me. Like, I live by that now. And she's absolutely right. You know, like, working, like, this year I've worked hard on my music, and, like, I actually am seeing progress on it. So, yeah, that's really
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I love hearing those kind of stories.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else?
Should I go? Anisa, are you still trying to gather your thoughts?
My brain's still going.
So when I was still training at my ballet school, one of my teachers was a dance critic for like the San Francisco Chronicle. And she was going to go see the San Jose Ballet, not Nutcracker, sorry, Swan Lake with Carlos Acosta. And I was like, oh shit, you're going to go see Carlos Acosta. Carlos Acosta's like this big Cuban dancer. Like, he's famous.
Yeah.
So she's like, do you want to come? And I was like, of course. So we go, we watch the show ends, and she's like, do you want to go backstage and meet him? I'm like, okay. I go up, I meet him. I'm so starstruck. I'm like, hi, my name is Carlos too. And there's awkward silence. I'm like,
That's what I would say.
But no, he was like great afterwards. He was just like, you know what? Just work hard. You will get where you want to be, and it's an awesome career.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool.
So legit.
Although I did meet Nicolas Cage once, and it was interesting. So I went to WonderCon, which was like a smaller version of Comic-Con in San Francisco, and I had won tickets to a raffle to meet the cast of Kick-Ass. So I got to meet him. I was trying to talk to him, and like every answer was like a short response, like yes, no, and I'm like, well, Nicolas Cage, you suck. Everyone else was like really nice, and Nicolas Cage was just like, eh.
What was that like the majority of the cast from Kick-Ass that you got to meet?
Yeah. So pretty much like, yeah, I think it was all the main characters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's too bad he wasn't more engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh,
Famous people are a very hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom did meet Dave Chappelle. My mom's a server, and she got to serve him. And she's like, man, Dave Chappelle is like one of the nicest people ever.
I can see that. Funny people are generally pretty friendly.
Yeah. Although I've heard David Spade is an asshole.
I heard the same thing about him.
Who's David? Wait, I don't remember him. Who's David Spade?
What's that
What's a
sitcom
good
he was
movie?
on? Yeah, in movies too.
I don't know a lot of famous people.
He was the voice in The Emperor's New Groove. He was
An
in
actor and comedian.
Black Sheep.
Oh, that guy. Oh, okay, yeah. Isn't he like old?
Yeah. But apparently he's like an asshole. Like, he's just like rude as fuck.
Isn't he like my age, Kelsey?
Interesting. You're younger.
I'm younger. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
feel
you
so
look
bad.
younger, so.
Anisa, anybody come to mind that you
I
encountered?
haven't really met that many famous people. Kind of in the same vein as Carlos, I actually got to work with Paulina Simonova when I was working the Dresden Semper Opera when I was dancing with them. And that was really cool. not because I really talked to her because I was so starstruck by her amazingness, but just seeing her in the studio and stuff was just so beautiful. Yeah, and one time I saw, I don't even know his real name, but, Draco. I saw Draco Malfoy. But, I mean, I honestly, I don't know.
Did you talk to him?
I ran into the guy, what's it called? The guy who played young Voldemort. He's like he's in the show Fear the Walking Dead, but I forgot what his name is. But he's in the Harry Potter series. I ran into him at a bar, and I'm like, he looks fucking familiar. And then my friend, I told my friend, I'm like, dude, I think I know this guy from somewhere. He's like in a show. My dumbass friend goes up to him, and he's like, hey, my friend says he knows you. Are you famous? I'm like,
oh my god.
He's like, no.
Oh, I watched, I don't know if you guys watched this, Dexter.
Yes.
Heard of it.
I watched
So
I went to a restaurant and the sister Deb was actually there, and she looks the exact same. And I was like, hey Deb, this is cool. But that's the max.
Was she like, my name's not Deb?
She was like, you should know my real name. And I was like,
Wait, did you say that?
no, in my heart. In my heart.
That would have been funny though.
I'd be probably crying, like sweating. What about you, Mark?
Yeah. I've been lucky.
Mark's like, I've met so many people, so many famous people.
Yeah, I'm trying not to come off like a dick or something. No, I'm trying to think of like pre-media, like who did I meet just as a fan, like anybody else? And God, well, okay, here's a good story. So I've been a Kiss fan back in the early days. That was the first band that got me into anything. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Peter Criss, Ace Frehley, that whole bit. In 1995, they were doing a unplugged tour, so they're trying to cash in on it because a lot of other bands were doing unplugged things, and MTV was doing an unplugged series. So say, hey, we're going to do this and call it the Kiss Conventions officially, and they would do an unplugged set and all that kind of thing. And at the end of it, they were going to do an autograph session. So I'm like, oh, this is finally my chance to meet like my heroes, the people I grew up with had such a huge impact on me, and I'll never forget this. There's only like maybe 500, maybe less than that, is at the Seattle Center Rainier Rooms area on the Seattle Center campus. And when their unplugged set finished, I thought they were going to say, okay, give us like 20 minutes, and then we're going to go set up tables, and you all can get in line and go get autographs or whatever from the band. They said, okay, we'll start signing stuff from the stage. And you have to understand that people brought like these really expensive things from the 70s with them. They're worth a lot of money, posters that they didn't want crumpled and touched. And so they just started grabbing. So all the fans started pushing towards the front, trying to hold up their stuff to have people sign and all that kind of thing. And I got right up there, and I'm not tall. I'm 5'5". I'm really short. But I'm like, well, one, this sucks. But two, I'm going to try to get somebody's autograph because I paid whatever I paid to be here. And Paul Stanley, who's their singer / rhythm guitar player, he reached around every other person besides me. I swear he went all around, behind me to the side. Hey, and it was signing stuff. And then he moved to another part of the stage. So I'm like, okay, who's closer? And then I saw Gene Simmons with his leather pants on over here. So I tried to push my way over to the front. And I was like, I'm not having any luck because he was doing kind of the same thing, like signing other people's stuff. And I had my CD booklet, right in his, well, not in his face, but up towards him. And I got tired of it, so I was close enough to actually tug on his pant leg, which is what I did. And he just looked down like, what are you doing? And that's when I put that thing in his face. But he grabbed it and then he signed it. So I'm like, yay.
That's awesome.
And then I got out of there because I was just fed up with the whole way they handled that. Because it was like, and some fans were so pissed that they just didn't even bother trying to get close. Because again, they thought they were going to have like a nice moment to go through a table, line to have something signed. Yeah. Gene has a huge reputation of being a butt. And in my case, he signed my thing. Paul Stanley didn't, so I don't know. I didn't really get a chance to talk with him. But I can say, I can say that one of my one of my surreal moments is definitely when I got to meet Jeff Bridges, the actor from The Big Lebowski and a multitude of other
The
films.
dude.
Yeah, the dude. He's an Academy Award winner, been nominated like 5-6 times. And so I thought if anyone might be a butt, it might be him because he's on such a level. And he couldn't have been nicer. He was like your favorite uncle, your favorite grandpa, and it made me a fan for life after meeting how cool and relaxed and laid back he was. He was kind of like the dude in that sense. He really was that laid back. And here's a guy that again he's been doing movies for like 4 decades, 5 decades, or whatever. And that was definitely one of my best memories of meeting someone famous who was really cool. I'm trying to think if I've had a bad experience with somebody. Well, I've had some bad experiences with athletes who think they're like too cool for school. They don't want to bother signing autographs for people. That I don't quite understand, especially when you're making millions of dollars and you're at something
Right.
It's the
I understand
ego
it.
thing.
Yeah, I understand.
Same with famous people. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I was just going to add that I understand it. Like if I catch you at a weird time, like in a restaurant or at the airport, maybe you're not expecting people. But if it's something that's actually set and advertised that you're going to be there, maybe it can be a little bit pleasant. And some of those guys are just terrible. They just don't care. They're just getting paid and then they leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because a lot of these like celebrities, they're nothing without their fans. Like you're only famous because the fans love you, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think most people will probably say that the majority of the fans that they meet are really respectful and courteous and that kind of thing. I'm sure they got some of the weirdos out there too, but
Right.
But the bulk of them are just really nice. I'm just kind of seeing things. Athletes are the worst. Hines Ward, Ryan Clark, assholes. A lot of metal and industrial rockers are dicks. Bruce Campbell was a jerk, if I'm honest. I've actually heard that about Bruce, unfortunately, from the Evil Dead and series.
Evil Dead.
Yeah, interesting. Al Jurgensen. Oh yeah, Al Jurgensen from Ministry comes to mind. Okay, yeah, it's weird. Sometimes when I've been fortunate enough to interview people, I still don't know what I'm going to get. If I'm pre-pandemic, hey, you're going to go do this interview on the tour bus. So, and if I'm a fan, I'm already kind of like, hey, I get to go and meet so and so. But then when you get on there, you kind of realize what their world's really like. The tour bus is a mess and stinks like sweat and beer and whatever else. And maybe they didn't get much sleep. They didn't get much sleep from the night before. And luckily, again, knock on wood, any tour bus interview I've done, they've all been great. Really, really nice guys, gals, the tour managers, bus drivers, all those people. But some of the like green room ones, you can kind of tell when someone doesn't want to do it. So it's like, well, just say you don't want to do it. If you don't want to do the interview, why waste the time and kind of come off like a jerk? That's kind of what I look at. Comic Christ, they're so much fun back. Yeah, the Comic Christ guys are great. Scott Weiland was a jerk. Okay. Alice are universally sweetheart. Yeah, we all agree on that. Alice are amazing people. And I mean, I've told that story before. 3 years ago, I didn't know who they were. I didn't have a clue. And then I spent, a Friday at their show in Seattle, and then 2 days later up in Everett. I hung out with them in the afternoon and did like a behind-the-scenes thing. I was there the whole night, and they just couldn't be nicer. And it just was like I couldn't really understand maybe how genuine they could possibly be with someone that they didn't know. It wasn't like I was a friend of the band for many years. Oh yeah, there's Mark. He's been coming to all our shows. They didn't know me. I was brand new. And so here we are 3 years later. And then, again, everybody knows that story about Tosh reaching out to me about doing these interviews in May. Again, it wasn't like I was been this lifelong fan or there's all this other kind of stuff or history with them. No, I met them twice and that was it. And then now I'm behind the scenes or whatever you want to call it on these tours and trying to get everything together with them. They're the real deal. And I wish there were more bands and people like them, just period. Really good people. That's why when I've reached out, like Anisa, you probably remember this, and maybe Kelsey too, of doing the interview on the tour. It's like, I wouldn't try to put you with a band that was questionable. In terms of that. It's like, no, they're good people. Doesn't matter if their music resonates with you or not. Just the fact that they're good people should be enough to make you feel comfortable with who you're associating yourself with. Yeah, cool. All right. I think it's interesting that we're talking about this, and that's when kind of the chat started lighting up about who's a butt and who's not.
But like, what's it called? Kaz Kill 32. Being famous sucks, and I buy it. But yeah, it's like people know what they're getting themselves into, right? Like, you're gonna if you're gonna be big, it's gonna happen. Like, but you just gotta be nice to people. I think. Like, I know it sucks, but you lose that privilege, you lose that privacy as you become famous.
Yeah.
So
it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Yep. I asked this question during the first International Fun Table, and we got some interesting questions, even though I wasn't looking for it. It's how well do you know your neighbors?
Oh, that's a good question. My neighbor is actually, one of them is my building manager, and I didn't know that until I got a noise complaint, because I practice screams. And he's like, yeah, I hear like these sounds coming from your place. I'm like, oh yeah, I practice screaming. And he's like, yeah, and I also hear piano too. And I'm like, yeah, and I do music. And he's like, oh. And I was like, well, why? Can you hear me? He's like, yeah, I'm the building manager. I was like, oh, fucking shit. I didn't even realize he was the building manager. I just knew he was my neighbor. And I was like, are you Chris? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Shit.
And then like before that,
you like scream internally.
Yeah, and I was like, how did I get so unlucky? Because when I was living in LA, one of my neighbors was a fucking doctor, and I get the same thing, a noise complaint. And I'm like, well, if you live in an apartment, what do you expect? Like, you're gonna have neighbors, like they could be good ones, they could be bad ones. It just shake my head. But we're okay now. He's like, he saw me the other day. He's like, yeah, it's okay, you can practice. I think it's because
like, I think you've gotten better.
He likes hearing me play piano. I think that's why. Not the screaming, but the piano part.
That's nice.
Yeah. That my other neighbor, I think he has like a disability. He lives with his sister. Yeah. He's very loud and friendly. So yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, like I only know my next door or my previous neighbor next door and the one upstairs because somebody broke into our courtyard and kicked their doors down like at 2 a.m. And that's like the only interaction we've had with them. We're like, huh, nice to meet you. Like, here's my number. But that's pretty much the only time we've ever talked.
Well, isn't it weird
weird.
that something like that brings your neighbors not together, but you get to find out who they are?
Right.
Because I had the same thing when we had a couple cars broken into our parking lot, and that's when everybody kind of let everybody else know, like, oh shit, this happened. Did your car get hit? It's like, well, hey, by the way, I'm Mark.
Right.
Yeah. And you meet for the first time.
Wow. And Anisa, you just moved, fairly recently. So
I did. I just moved. I don't know any neighbors, but also I've never known any neighbors in any of my apartments I've ever lived in because, like, I don't want anyone to know me. But I will say that the person that lived in this apartment, I don't think they've changed their mailing address because the other day I get this knock at the door and my sisters and I like freeze like little iguanas and we like look over and we're like, do you know someone's coming? Do I know someone? And everyone's like, no, we don't know. So I like creep over because like I don't want them to know I'm coming to the door. And I open it and there's Domino's. I did. My sister and I went and like knocked on the doors and like the way my apartment is set up, you can see the other doors. And my sister went and knocked on them and was like, hey, like, did you order this? Like, we don't want to take it in. And they're like, nah, it's not us. It's not us. And so we waited. We're like, okay, 15 minutes for Domino's. Like, if someone comes, we won't take it in, because like COVID and stuff. So we're like waiting. And I'm like 15 minutes has passed, 20 minutes. And we take it in. But they had pineapple on their pizza. So, like, I know the person that lived here before. They don't have the best taste.
Hey, pineapple on pizza is good.
No way.
That's my favorite one.
Pineapple with pepperoni and like jalapenos
on pizza. It's like you're getting your daily
sweet and savory
intake.
The idea of that makes me so uncomfortable. Like,
so good. It's
you just
so
take
good.
the pineapples off. Just eat the
I
pizza.
did. It was a veggie pizza and it had like pineapple on it. And I was
pizza,
like,
that's
everything
gross.
about this is wrong.
Yeah, you can have that one, Anisa. You can have that.
So yeah, no, I don't like it.
No, it was a no. But I still ate the pizza, and it was. I appreciate you, person that lived here before.
You know what, Anisa, do you live in a place where they wouldn't have left it outside your door? I'm wondering, they must have paid ahead of time because they didn't get money from you.
Yes.
When knocked.
So my complex is kind of like it's outdoors. So all the apartments are like there, but they're outdoors. So it's not like necessarily in a building. But I don't know. I had these nice little pizza boxes that were outside of fresh pizza and just a knock and no one was there. And I was like, oh, dinner. Thank you.
Thank you, previous tenant.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. But I hated that.
And I see there's dissension in the chat too about the pineapple on pizza thing.
It shouldn't be
Pineapple
there.
overrules.
It is so weird. No, pineapple's not the move.
I like pineapple.
You know what I love? I don't think I've ever heard anyone that I've known who mentioned what Carlos mentioned, because I love pineapple with pepperoni on pizza.
Right, it's good. The savory and the sweet.
Yeah. I'm obviously people are used to the Canadian bacon and pineapple thing, but I've always done the pineapple with it. I mean the pepperoni with it, and they're like, oh wow, it's polarizing. But wow.
Oh, thank you. Just like the idea too. I don't know. I can't even imagine. Like I tried it, and in my heart it was like, this is the
delicious.
Worst thing you've ever had. Like,
That's good.
spit it out.
Yeah, I know my neighbor below me, because it's a mom and dad with a child, and then the guy next to me, I swear, is like he was like born in a barn or something, because you always know when he's there and you always know when he leaves, because he slams his door, and it's not like his door's tight or anything. I actually asked him about that one day. He's like, do you have a problem with your door kind of being stuck or something, like it won't close properly? Because man, it actually kind of not shakes my wall, but I know when he's home and when he leaves. And he felt kind of bad. He's like, oh, I didn't realize it was so bad like that. But then he went right back to it the next day. It didn't last long. So I'm like, whatever, I make enough noise with my guitar and that kind of stuff. So I kind of give and take. And I've got two young brothers that are below them, and they seem really cool. They're super quiet. I never hear them, but we're all on. I can say this now. We're all on this. I've got all of their phone numbers because of our landlord. Our landlord texted us one time about some maintenance he was going to do, and so because I'm like, who are all these other numbers on there? Then I realized he sent out a group text to all of us. So without asking us, privacy wise. So and normally my landlord's not like that. He's awesome. He's one of the best landlords ever. I don't want to say anything bad about him, but in this one instance, it's like, well, this is kind of a blessing in disguise, because now I have contacts.
You have his number.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, who is this? Is this apartment A? Is this number D? Which one are these? So now I have all of them, and just letting people know that, because my area is slowly not the safest area. So it's like, hey, if you see something, or you see somebody, or someone's parked at the turnaround, it's always good to kind of let other people know. Or if your car gets broken into, or your apartment, then obviously the rest of us know just to be on the lookout for each other.
Look out for each other.
Let's see, barbecue Canada, spicy and sweet and sour on pizza. It's the best. Kelsey, on Facebook. Yeah, you are on Facebook. You have a page.
Yeah, add me on Facebook, Instagram. Is it Industrial Girl?
Yep, Industrial Girl 25.
Cool.
Yeah, so Industrial Girl, if it's Kelsey Luo, Luo.
Luo, yeah.
Yep.
It's my first and last name on Instagram and Facebook, so easy to find.
And if you find
I'll say hi.
If you find any of my posts, I have her tagged. Her page is tagged, so you can just find my posts and they'll take you right to Kelsey's stuff. The person I need to connect with is actually Carlos, because I only have him on Instagram. I don't have him on Facebook. So, and then Anisa I've got on both. So, yeah, Canadian bacon, pineapple. This is making me hungry for pizza.
That sounds good. I'm like, man, I want pizza.
Call it
Actually,
in.
and like barbecue sauce on pizza is pretty good too.
I like that too, yeah.
Yep. Oh, man.
Or cheeseless pizza, just like the condiments on the pizza.
Cheeseless.
That's good. Yeah, no, just like sauce
I
with
love,
the condiment.
I love stuffed crust cheesy
bread.
pizza, like the soft pillowy ones, like really thick
with
ones.
extra sauce.
guys,
guys are weird.
I'm gonna go. I'm tired.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
tired. I think I'm gonna go.
Get some pizza, right?
Yeah. No, I've been tired the whole week, so I was talking
Or
to Mark about it
mochi.
earlier. Yeah, I know. So I can eat food and probably nap or something. Yeah.
No problem. Kelsey, thanks for joining us and everything.
Yeah,
And
thanks for having me. This was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
What are your like social media pages? I'll look everyone up.
Well, if you find me on any of my Instagram posts or any of my recent Facebook posts have Anisa tagged. Carlos is tagged
Let's
on Instagram as SF Bandito, I want to say, for
Very
Instagram.
good.
Yeah, so that'll kind of link you
Okay,
into
I got it.
to everybody. And if you have questions, you can ask me too. You know how to find everybody. Okay. All right.
Awesome.
So, Kelsey, we'll see you later. Have a good night.
For sure. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye,
See ya.
Kelsey. It's nice
Nice
meeting
meeting-
you.
Man, now I kind of want pizza
Not pineapple though. There's
with
no way.
pineapple and a horror movie. Like pizza, horror movie. Perfect.
But
These are a few of my favorite things.
Anisa, what kind of pizza do you like? Maybe I missed that.
Okay, well, not gonna lie, but I could be a purist. You know, a cheese pizza, so good. Pepperoni pizza, so good. A veggie pizza, so good. Pineapple on anything, so bad.
So good.
Oh, put barbecue sauce on that, like even worse. Like,
Oh,
yeah. But also though, like I don't really like carrot cake. I think it's more of a mental thing.
what?
Like, I don't know. There's something where I'm like, carrots are not dessert. So like having them together, I don't like it. But if someone was like, hey, try carrot cake, I'd be like, oh, this is so good. But if I knew what it was, I'd be like, yeah, it's a no from me. I don't know. I don't know.
That cream cheese frosting.
I love cream cheese frosting. Cream cheese, fine to be in everything, but like carrots and cake or like pineapple on pizza, there are some boundaries that, you know, there's a law. You can't.
What about the
cross
zucchini
it.
bread?
Honestly, I'd probably be down for zucchini bread. So it's probably
What
just
the
me.
hell? What the
Probably
Get
just
out of
judge
here.
it. I'm like, you know what? Zucchini I like, carrots not so much.
Wow.
There is no rhyme or reason. It's purely my unbreakable decision that this is law.
Well, I see in Destra Girl, I mean, she disagrees with you about the pineapple, but she agrees with you about carrot cake. So you're kind of back in her good graces.
Thank you.
She doesn't like chocolate. I don't know. Do you like chocolate?
Yeah, I do love chocolate. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird. I didn't like chocolate growing up, but now I've fallen in love with dark chocolate, especially the Trader Joe's, like dark chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh, those are so good.
So good.
Yeah. Agreed.
Ever had Vegemite? No, I've never had Vegemite.
I have not. For our person,
I heard about it in Rocket Power.
But like Otto? Is Otto in Rocket Power?
Yeah.
Huh. Is there anything else for either of you that you food wise you're like, I really don't like this or
Oh
this?
no, I can eat anything. Like, I'm normally like, I'll try it first. If I don't like it, I don't like it. But I'll try anything. I like food.
Okay.
I'm gonna sound so lame. I'm not a big fan. I love barbecue, but barbecue chips make me feel really uncomfortable.
Okay, it's okay. That's fine. Fair enough.
I don't know. It's something about like this sweet but savory. Like it just makes me feel
It doesn't
really uncomfortable.
It doesn't taste like barbecue though, too. So you're just like,
Yeah, but it's labeled as barbecue chips. So I'm like, why is it labeled barbecue chips but doesn't taste like barbecue? Then like, what is it? Like, why don't you just say like it's brown sugar or like vinegar? You know, like I just want to know. I don't like it.
When you say it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's like it's going to attack you or something.
I feel it. I really feel it.
Next time I'm in this next time I'm in the studio with Anisa, I'm just gonna throw a barbecue chips bag at her.
No, and the worst part, I love barbecue. Like I love ribs. I love the flavor of it, but like putting it, I don't know, something about like the transition from like barbecue to being like it's in a bag, it's barbecue chips. I'm like, something is wrong here, and I see it, and I'm not gonna fall for it.
It's like the taco flavored Dorito chips, like the old ones.
That's fine.
or the pizza Pringles.
Not mad about it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, there really is no rhyme or reason. It's just law.
What about you, Mark?
I'm kind of like you that at least I would try something once food wise. Almost, yeah, probably anything actually. But in terms of what I don't like eating, I think you guys were talking about dark chocolate at some point, that you love the things from Trader Joe's. I'm not a dark chocolate fan at all. Oh, and black licorice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's one you couldn't pay me to eat it.
Mm-mm.
No, the red one's fine though.
Yeah.
Red vines are fine. I can just eat those.
I completely forgot that I have 2 Blu-rays to give away. I see. I even have a sticky here, and it's to remind me. Let's see here. How do I want to do this? Who's in the chat right now? I see Industrial Girl and I see Dusty Chalk. And you know what? I'm going to make it easy. Both of you just won. So I'm going to pick one movie. Just goes to Dusty Chalk. One's going to go to Industrial Girl. Dusty, I have your address because you won the first time through. And oh, Tony, sorry, you just put one there. I tell you what, Tony, the next giveaway is actually going to go directly to you. You won't actually do a giveaway. It'll just be yours. I'll make sure that you realize that you get the next giveaway from Wellgo USA. So Industrial Girl, if you want to DM me your mailing address so I can get your Blu-ray out to you. And Captain Blackwood just joined too. But you just won the second one. So Dusty's saying, no, I won last time. Okay, tell you what then. Tony, you're going to get this one of these to make it fair. Thank you, Dusty, for being that way. And he just said give it to Tony. So Tony and Industrial Girl, if you DM me, I will get these out to you. And they're brand spanking new. They're not even on the street yet. So cool. There we go. Nice and easy. You're welcome, Tony.
Wait,
on
what's the movie called again?
So there's Broil, which is the scary one of the draconian castle where there's like a family secret thing going on. And then Cutthroat City is from I think he says RZA from Wu-Tang Clan. He's directed some films and stuff, so that's what's going to be going on. So yeah, Industrial Girl, if you could just do it through Instagram, DM me that way. And she wants the horror movie. So okay, well, your wish is my command. Here we go. Awesome. And thanks to Wellgo USA for doing that. I really appreciate them taking a chance on Eclectic Arts and letting me do these giveaways. That's fun for me. I never had a chance to do that kind of thing. And hello, Captain Blackwood. I don't think I officially said that, so thanks for joining us. And we're talking about pineapple and dark chocolate and carrot cake. And,
have black licorice.
Yeah, all kinds of other stuff. Because I know one of the fun tables I was talking about that, like with food, I'm adventuresome. But like with certain activities, I'm not. Like I don't like heights, so depending on how much heights are involved with something, you're probably not going to get me out there to do it. But food, yeah, I'll try almost anything once. And Tony, I don't like to be scared. Okay, perfect. It worked out great. So Tony will get the urban one that I just watched and reviewed, and then she'll get the scary one. Yay! How are you two doing on time? I know we're all here in the Northwest, but we're okay. I got a thumbs up right from Carlos and Anisa. Okay.
I mean, I also like have to go have some like barbecue chips or something.
I think
DoorDash.
No. No way.
I think I have some barbecue chips in my kitchen.
You should think about that.
I actually am. Now that you've been talking about it, I am kind of thinking about it. I mean, I'm not going to eat them right now, but they are there. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the very first session, which is Anisa was a part of way back in end of July or early August on the tour with Alice. And let's see what kind of question. I know there are some here that I didn't ask because I didn't know what I was doing back then. Oh, that's right. I don't know if we need to go there. Well, what the hell? What is the strangest place you've ever urinated or defecated? Thanks, Industrial Girl. I see that you DM'd me my address. Perfect. You all are great.
Hey, Industrial Girl, I am a cool foodie. I just don't like barbecue or pineapple on pizza. That doesn't mean bad foodie. I just don't like that. I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and that is a no. For me, I just feel like I constantly always have to, like, I try to drink as much water as possible. So, like, anywhere.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Strangest place. Well, it's not really strange, but so when I was covering shows, and I'm not going to name the venue around here, one of them in the greater Seattle area, I usually have to park far away. I can't never find close parking to that club, and so I know I got to walk a bit. And that one show that I went to, I had a few drinks that maybe sometimes I don't do, and so after the show, I figured, well, I could get to my car and drive home, and then go to the bathroom when I get home. And when I got close to my car, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to. And it was number one, so it wasn't that big a deal, for a guy. So I got to go somewhere, and I saw this kind of building that looked dark and everything. So I went around the corner of the building and do my business, and then all of a sudden I heard, "Hey!" And I'm like, I turned around, and there was some guy standing there. I don't know if he was from that business or what it was, and clearly I didn't care because I can't stop that midstream. You just got to go. So.
Right. Just run away with it.
Yeah, it's like, right. Leave a trail behind me as I run to my car. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Can't catch me.
But so that wasn't really strange. I was trying to be discreet, but it didn't really work. Carlos, anything come to mind?
No, not really. Like, the only thing is, like, my dad tends to exaggerate. Maybe he was telling the truth. Maybe he was just exaggerating. One day he was like, yeah, you came home really drunk and you were trying to pee, like, in the pantry. And I'm like, no. I remember I peed in the bathroom. He's like, no. I don't know if it happened, but
wow.
Maybe I was drunk.
Okay. What was this?
I can't really think of it.
No treat. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Yeah, I don't, and I've talked about too that for me, I don't like going just in public places, kind of period, like in terms of the bathrooms, because it's such like if I can wait to get home, I will. So I can't think of anything too weird. That's interesting that question was on the first list, because I tried to keep them kind of like nicer and not so weird, but that question's there. It's been kind of a running joke. I mean, Anisa, do you remember that first question that I actually said to the group?
Demon sperm, and all of us were like, "What? I haven't even heard about it."
Yeah. So Carlos, the first one of these that we did was a part of the Alice tour, and I asked the groups, like, "Do you want something easy, something nice?" And then they were like, "Hey, we're here to have fun. Let's just kind of go for it." And so I said, "Okay, so what the hell is demon sperm?" And they all like. It was crickets. They weren't. It was in the news at the time because of those doctors that were anti-COVID and it's all a hoax and all this kind of stuff. And they started digging into the background of one of those doctors, and she had mentioned demon sperm and all sorts of kind of weird shit. So I thought it was topical. That's why I threw it out, and yeah, it was a dud. It was completely a dud. Yeah, you skipped a lot of questions that first one. And I had more time too, Dusty. It was 45 minutes because it was just Alice and myself. And then the second one was even shorter. It was 30 minutes because we had a really stacked lineup that night, I remember. So it wasn't until the third one that was I got a chance to kind of spread my wings a little bit. And then these things have just kind of blown up the way they are, which is fun. Um, um, hmm. Okay, here's another. I don't think I asked this one either. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily bathroom routine that you would never have to do again, what would it be?
Flossing.
Mm.
I hate it. I don't know. I know the importance. I love that. But if like my teeth could handle it and I didn't have to like floss, I would be very happy.
You know what's the worst? When you go to the dentist and you do the cleaning and then they floss really hard.
Or the scraping,
And they're
or the sound.
And they're like, "Oh, you're bleeding," and I'm like, "I wonder why."
And you're like crying. You're like, it's cool. I floss
Right.
every day.
For me, I think it'd be just like fixing my hair. If I could just do something where it's like, cool hairstyle, just do what you need to do, and I'd be happy.
I can't relate to that.
Pooping, that's what Dusty said.
Pooping, yeah. My bathroom routine. Yeah, if there's some way I could get away with like being, fresh and clean and not having to shower every morning, yeah, I'd immediately get rid of that in terms of my bathroom. That would save so much time if I didn't have to do that. But if I don't do it and then people have to suffer the consequences of that, then yeah, no, then no, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, but what was that thing about the questions? I remember you being shocked on the questions because you didn't preview them. Yeah, here's a little tidbit behind the scenes. Anisa probably remembers this. I did email some questions to the guests the first time and maybe the second time too, just so they had an idea. One of the guests was really nervous about doing that whole process, and it wasn't Anisa, it was somebody else. And so I wanted to make sure that they felt good, about it. So I said, here's some possible questions I might ask so that you can kind of prepare answers or whatever. And obviously Demon Sperm was not one of them because that was a topical question that happened. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll be right back. My
Okay.
sister's talking to me. Hold on.
No problem. Let's see here. So Carlos, if you had to pick 3 famous people to be part of your entourage, who would you pick? It's another one I didn't ask.
Entourage.
Yeah, who's rolling with you wherever you go?
I feel like Brad Pitt would be a cool person. Leo DiCaprio would be pretty cool. Jennifer Lawrence. I feel like she's got a good sense of humor and stuff too. I think.
Yeah, that's a good posse there. I think what's interesting about Jennifer, at least from the interviews I've seen, that kind of thing, is that not only is she funny, but she's pretty freaking grounded. And she's opinionated too, so you'll know where you stand with her. But I appreciate that kind of thing. So someone trying to like give you pleasantries and then behind your back, stab you. She doesn't say that kind of person at all. She'll just tell you, you suck or whatever. That's pretty good. There were a lot of sex-related ones. Questions. I asked. Yeah, I do remember asking, "Do you want a sex-related one?" And they're like, it was like crickets. Actually, several sessions. We actually didn't get to anything like that. And there was only like one question, maybe by the fourth one. I think with Wade and Mike, we talked about virginity. And that happened. But for me, if I had 3 famous people, I think it'd be kind of cool to have Shaq around. He's a super strong businessman, and he's got a ton of money. But that guy is smart, and went back and got his doctorate degree, and kind of seems to try to do the right thing. Plus, he's obviously huge, so I think that'd be like being a forest. That'd be kind of fun. Who else would be interesting? There should be somebody. Why am I blanking on this? maybe Barack Obama for the hell of it. He can roll with me because he's going to have a lot of connections everywhere to things. And so I got Shaq on one side and Barack on the other. And then let's get somebody else in there. I don't know who. Oh well, I was going to say Sigourney Weaver back in like the Aliens era when she was making those films, because I think she's also, well, one, she's tall, but then two, I think she would bring an interesting perspective between the three of them. So I'll roll with those people. So Shirley sounds like a trip. Charlize Theron's from Dreamcatcher. Cool, yeah. So Anisa, we were talking about the question was, if you had to pick three famous people to be part of your entourage, who would you pick? So that's what we're talking about.
What did you guys say?
I said Leo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Lawrence. But then I'm like, man, I need like some comics up there. I want like Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Bill Burr would be kind of fun. Joe Rogan.
I love Joe Rogan. I've been listening to a lot of his podcasts.
It's good. I
Yeah.
like his stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
What did you say, Mark?
I was just yeah, I'm sitting there looking at you and like, oh yeah, I didn't know you.
I'm like, it's you.
Yeah, it's my turn. I picked Shaquille O'Neal, and I picked Barack Obama, and I picked Sigourney Weaver. Those three people.
Okay. Wow, this is hard. My first one would be Legolas or Legolas.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom.
No, I want the elf.
Oh, you want the elf?
I don't care so much that it's Orlando Bloom. I want the knowledge and everything. And then I'd probably go Batman because like I love Batman. I've always loved Batman.
Oh. Which Batman though? Do you want like Michael Keaton? You want Nipples? What's his name? George Clooney? Val Kilmer?
I don't really have a preference for who the Batman is. I just would like the identity of Batman. I think that's a really cool idea. Okay. So surprise me, I guess, in my entourage. And then I'd probably also go with Misty from Pokemon. Because in my mind, it's going to be that their Pokemon exist, and I think that'd be really cool. So,
although Pokemon would be kind of scary if they were real, though. When you think about it,
I mean, we have
Pikachu would be kind of creepy.
Come on! At least then you could have like your friends on your like belt, and you could like pull them out and be like, you know what, like, you know, I may not like you, but like we can duel. Like, let me just go.
Friends, attack them.
Yeah, you're like, hey, like, so like you're water type, like, please, I got this, like, no big deal. Like, let me pull out Pikachu.
Oh, talking about Orlando Bloom, if you get a chance, I'm not sure if you've ever watched the show Extras with Ricky Gervais. There's an episode with Orlando Bloom. You should check it out.
Okay. I mean, Legolas was like my childhood, like, I had a poster of him. I named my beta fish Orlando, so. Yeah.
That's right. This is all coming back to me because I came up in the fifth round of this with Leah, because remember she had all the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff. So
yes,
Orlando, all those tattoos on her arm.
That was really cool.
Yeah, and that's when you were talking about your love or appreciation of him. And seeing Chappelle and other people are putting all kinds of Tigger and lots of different things on the Gordon, my childhood friend. He's funny and super smart. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's interesting. I think people that you want, just good people to be around you. They either make you laugh or just make you feel comfortable, or that there's just some other reason, like if it's Batman or anything else.
Batman.
Um, are we breaking the record yet, Mark? That's a really good question,
We
Industrial.
got 1 minute.
Yeah, we have. If we hit 1 minute, we will tie it at 9:45, and if we hit 9:46, then this will be the new record. So it's gonna fall. That's easy enough. I can already see it. So
Done.
you were all here to witness fun table history. That a new benchmark has been set in about 2 minutes, and it organically happened. And yeah, it's been. Gordon Bash. Okay, that's right. Yeah. It's like too much beer already. I can't even figure things together between what the chat is saying and what's going on. Cool. So let's see.
Oh yeah. Oh, Anisa, the reason I said nipples is because like the Batman and Robin's costume, that one was the one with nipples for Batman.
It was a nipple?
Yeah, it was weird. It had nipples.
Oh. I don't know that one.
Also, it was like the worst Batman movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that was kind of a whole thing about the design of that suit when Joel Schumacher, the director, when it came out, I was like, "What's up with the nipples on the bat?"
Right.
I remember that because the first two Keaton ones, and then the third one with Val Kilmer. I was in line the first day that they showed them. I was one of those people, so I couldn't wait to see him and stood in the long line with 100 people or whatever. And then I did after the third one. I didn't do that again. So, but the first two, yeah, it was awesome. I couldn't wait to see those two.
Yeah, the Tim Burton ones.
Yeah,
those are good.
George Clooney's Batman. It was terrible. Famous nipples, especially inebriated. No one can understand a word she's saying. He's not talking about us. He's talking about I think Shirley Manson. No, yeah. There's all these like side conversations going on in the chat.
Oh, decent.
Yeah, she's talking about barbecue chips and
That's it. She's got to go.
You know what's interesting about this service is I didn't realize like when if I click no not there. If I click guess, so like when oops, let me get that off. When Kelsey left, obviously I can take her out of the stream. What I didn't realize is I can actually like make some, like if someone's really offensive, I can just get them out of here, period. Like if they don't want to go, I can actually just say and take them out. It's like, oh, that's a nice power to have. I hope it never comes to that, but because like when I do the shows with Alice, then that's all on Scott and those guys down there because they're in control of what happens and what goes out to the people. I don't have any control over that. So if I'm stuck with somebody who's getting irate or whatever, I have to tell them, hey, cut off.
Yeah.
Cut the stream. Which again, it's never happened, and I don't anticipate it to. But that's just an interesting thing that I saw on this. Okay,
I'll be back really quick.
Okay. 9:47. So yeah, it's official. This is the new record.
We've done it.
Yeah. And it went from 4 to 3 to 2 to and any combination. And that's cool. It's weird for me to think that Anisa, your fifth one was maybe when would that have been? Like early September?
Yeah.
End of. So it's been that long.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been a big gap between I did one of these because like I had just moved into this apartment when we had done our first one. Like I was sitting in my sister's room with like the computer on like a TV stand and then like lights just like trying to go over. And now the change from like how people have moved in and like everything that's put in and like where I'm at now is just completely different. So it's really crazy.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Yeah, that's yet another snapshot thing that if you go back and look at the fifth one, you can see that configuration, and then you look at this one and see this, and that's crazy how the time thing happens. And in my case, it's only been the last two of these where I've been using just my ring light and turning everything else off, just because I felt it's getting close to October and it is October now, and Halloween and all that kind of stuff. But
so spooky.
Yeah. So we'll kind of see what happens as we get closer to that potential Halloween fun table session. They should have done that with the Twilight movies. Okay, well I remember that got talked in Anisa's last one with Leah about Twilight and forks and and the books and all that kind of thing. Well, that's interesting. But what? Or one Harry Potter movie? Okay, let's see. What else do we have in here that I don't think has been asked? What secret society would you like to start? That is, I don't believe that's ever been asked off the list. And maybe for good reason, I don't know.
Oh, this is so hard.
Yeah,
like
so many things.
Like start a new one or one that's already been established and you started it. Like, is that?
I'm reading this as like it's brand new. You're starting some new secret society that's gonna start getting members and do whatever you do.
Probably one where, like, if you don't eat pineapple on pizza, you're not allowed.
Well, I'm out. Like, you're gonna not have that many people in your group, so you better change it.
That's a hard one.
Metalhead K-pop fans from Industrial Girl. Okay, so that's. I would actually join that because I'm both of those. I'm a K-pop fan and a metalhead. Gosh, what would I start? I don't know. I think I know why I never asked this question. I don't know how to answer it.
It's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind to me would be like, pear-shaped Asian men that drink beer. That'll be my secret society. Who wants to join? Oh no, you're not pear-shaped. Sorry.
Just imagine approaching a random person like, "Hey, listen, I've got this society. You want to like join? You're pear-shaped." And
yeah, I think they're Asian, maybe. Yeah, do you drink beer?
I think maybe like Sailor Scouts. I love Sailor Moon, and like imagining like this day and age, like women or even men or whatever they identify as being like, hey, we're gonna like fight crime together. It's like super cool.
Tuxedo masks.
I mean, I want roses being thrown everywhere. I want people wearing like diadems. Like, I want bubbles being blown. Like, that's it.
And I thought I was weird. I'm just reading the chat stuff, right? I don't think that's based on some of the chat things about other people's secret societies that they would start. But Anisa qualifies for that too. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
I still stand by it, so I don't care.
Oh no, that wasn't yours. Okay, I'm trying to remember. That was number 6. What age do you wish you could permanently be?
That's hard because I like evolution. I like the way I'm evolving, and I like the ages I'm growing to at this point. Like, there isn't an age I've passed where I'd be like, oh, that's the one that I should stay at. So I don't know. I mean, I'm tempted to say like this one because I really enjoy where I'm at and like everything I've experienced, but when I'm older, it'd probably be like, this is the age I should stay at.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more relevant if you have like more years of experience. You could be like pinpoint where's the one you really like.
Yeah.
Is that
anytime before like 25th birthday when you could drink as much as you want and wake up feeling like a new person without dying? I don't know.
Yeah, well, Industrial Girl, like she said last time, I said 25 last time. Still my answer. I'll lock it in right here. I'm happy from Captain Blackwood. I remember last time I talked about my birthday, like when I turned 30, when I turned 40, when I turned 50. Only from like a physical standpoint, I think I would pick a younger age because I wish I wasn't, breaking down like I am physically now. But like what Anisa said, I think there's a lot of truth to, every age you're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're changing, and there's going to be good and maybe not so good things, but all of them have something to offer. But if I look back just strictly, and also like what Carlos said, I still remember that I didn't probably get my first like bona fide hangover until like 2000. So I would have been like, what year? That would have been like when I turned 30. So up until that point, it's like I might have felt slow and foggy headed the next day, but I was never like down for the count kind of a thing until I had way too much. There was the millennium change. It's only going to happen once in my lifetime. So went hard. Was up in Canada where Kelsey's from, actually, for a Kiss concert, and I just let loose, and I totally felt it the next day. And we had to drive back down here. I really should have just gotten sick because I didn't, and I probably would have felt better if I had. But I'm like, it was foreign to me. I wasn't used to that concept. Keep on challenging myself to learn and explore, so I'll keep moving along. Yeah. Cool. All right. Interesting things.
That question breaks my brain. That's true. So true.
I haven't had any good birthday experiences after 25, so yeah. Oh, well, laughing about it, but hopefully you have some, or more than some. Okay, here's another one that hasn't been asked, but this is more recent. If you were a condiment, which one would you be?
I think butter. I mean, one, it's very good. It goes with everything. It's amazing. You can use it to bake cakes or make food or savory items. And yeah, like honestly, it's probably the best one. So you're welcome.
Pepper paste, ketchup. Okay. Some sort of spice. I love ketchup. Okay. Yeah.
I think I'd be barbecue sauce. But like the tangy and like spicy one, like.
Okay, so the tangy and spicy barbecue sauce. Okay.
Eat it with French fries or like chicken nuggets. Or on pizza.
Whoa. That's a stretch. On French fries? Like.
Hell yeah. French fries with barbecue sauce?
I don't know. Honestly, I wish I could say I'm exaggerating because, like, honestly, like the idea of that is just so. It makes me feel so weird.
But is that, how about butter on pizza, Anisa?
Breadsticks, basically.
What would I be? Because most people that know me, I don't put much of anything on stuff. Like maybe if you had, I don't know, corn on the cob and you naturally put butter on it, I don't. Also, other things that normally people put stuff on, I do use ketchup every now and then. And for all those purists out there, I put it on my hot dog. I know that's like a sin or whatever. You're not supposed to put ketchup.
Why is it a sin?
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a thing that if you get like a genuine hot dog, it's supposed to be mustard and some other things, never ketchup.
Why?
I don't. They actually have it on the Food Network. They're talking. I don't remember the reasons, but they went to some places around the like hot dog, businesses around the country. And there was one like back in the Midwest somewhere, and you could ask for packets of ketchup, and they would give you that, and you could put it on, but they will not have it available to you. They're that anti-ketchup about
Pretentious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you have your hot dogs?
Well, me, besides the ketchup, if I'm like at a ballpark or like an event, then there's going to be onions on it too, and maybe some relish. And I don't use mustard because I'm not a mustard person, so I'm pretty basic. What's that?
Guys, I'm gonna ruin this. I don't like them. I don't eat them. Like growing up, me and my sister, she would get like, SpaghettiOs, and they had like little weenies inside of them. Or like corn dogs, I would eat the bread and I give her like the weenie, or like I would eat the SpaghettiOs and I give her the weenie. Like I just don't like them. I don't know. It's just like hot dogs, bratwurst, like everything about it. I just like, I don't like it. I have never ordered one. I have never willingly been like, yeah, like I would love to have a hot dog at this ball game ever. So like I can't even tell you what I would like on it, because like I wouldn't even willingly have it.
Oh man. But yeah, what's it called? I love ketchup, mustard, onions, like relish. If they have jalapenos, like jalapenos. But yeah.
Nice. Industrial Girl doesn't like hot dogs either. Dusty was talking about, I'm not a big fan of ketchup, but I'm not going to deny the ketchup lovers their ketchup on their stuff, so that's cool. Yeah, there's definitely a whole thing about some places, especially like back east, where they do have like hot dog businesses. It's like a normal thing. Out here. You don't see it nearly as much, and it's like, yeah, you ask for ketchup, you know, they might run you out of their business in a good-natured way, I think. Okay. I asked this before from what's number 7? Oh, that was the international show. What TV show or movie can you quote an embarrassing amount from? You don't have to do the quotes, but something that you know it so well or love it so much, you keep spouting things off every now and then.
I would say Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay.
This is gonna sound lame, but like I do know a lot of, I mean, it doesn't really pertain either. I play a lot of Overwatch. It's a video game, and my sisters and I, we constantly quote all the characters you can play. Like any response to one another is probably a quote. Like all day long. But yeah.
Okay, that counts. What is that? I'm going to go eat straight wasabi. Be right back. Buffy and Winona Earp may offer you a nice egg in these trying times, dude. What? Oh, I was trying to. What did I say? Oh, I remember. I used to be able to quote a lot of things from Seinfeld, Frasier TV shows. These are old TV shows, and then Dances with Wolves, the movie. I used to be able to go through a lot of lines from that. More recent things, though, I don't know. For me, like if I'm reviewing a movie and something kind of stands out because of my writing background, I will actually take the quote or the line from the movie and usually write it down. But I don't sit there and go around using it. It's just something that I like, so it just kind of helps me write. Maybe I'll try to use part of it in my own writing later. I guess it's plagiarism, depending on who you talk to. But it's just kind of supposed to help kind of inspire me. Like if I feel like I'm getting into a rut with my writing, if I hear something, I try to write it down. But I don't go around, using it in conversation or anything like that. A League of Their Own.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah. They're making a show on that. Which I'm like, the movie was good.
Yeah, you don't have to do a show.
Yeah.
Do you sing in the shower?
I do.
I sing all the time. I'm not good.
Echo is...
Okay. And anything in particular, or just saying whatever comes to mind when you're in there?
Or pretty much I would say what pops up on Pandora or Spotify.
I'll make up my own songs. I like to sing to my sisters. I sing to my boyfriend. I'll sing to anybody, just like what we're doing, how it is. Like I don't, because I know I'm bad. Like I know that I'm not a good singer. So like, do I need to compare myself to like anybody on the radio? No. But can I go ahead and make my very clever, ingenious song that I've created about like making food? Yes. Very original.
So your life's basically like a musical.
Yeah, some would say not good. It's rated like 1 on Rotten Tomatoes, but like I have passion.
Okay. I sing a lot of Metallica from Industrial Girl. Okay. I tend to always gravitate towards 80s things that I end up singing in the shower just because of the same stuff that I actually remember as I get older. Oh boy. Did I ask that one? If you suddenly become invisible, what would be the first thing you do?
Rob a bank. No, I'm joking. There's so much you can do.
I would probably rob a bank. I mean, okay, if I knew that it wasn't going to affect anyone's livelihood, if I felt like it wasn't really going to affect anyone but like maybe main corporate, and like there was just so much like paper money, like a Monopoly game, I would take it in a heartbeat, and I would distribute it amongst like people I love, and then like that's what I would do if I was invisible.
Wouldn't it be trippy though? You just see the money floating away.
I mean, I'm gonna be clever though, and I'm gonna like have like a bag, maybe a mirror with me, you know, so like no one's gonna know.
You thought this through.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not gonna go into it like blindsided. Like if I'm gonna achieve it, like I will become a billionaire, and I will, you know.
Oh,
That's a good one.
yeah, Tony has a good one. Go into Area 51. See what's actually up down there. What was the question? Oh, Industrial Girl, it was if you suddenly became invisible, what would be the first thing you do? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would love to have money, but I don't know if I would rob a bank. For some reason, I kind of thought about the same thing of just like going somewhere where there's a lot of people and just kind of being like people watching, just kind of being off in the corner where they don't know you're there, and just kind of seeing what are people doing. Like if you just followed someone into a store, you followed them. Well, not to private places, but just I don't know. I was like they're having a private conversation in a bar, and you're just kind of standing there and just hearing what they're talking about, and they have no idea. I'm just kind of weird that way. Maybe I am a stalker. I don't know. I have stalker tendencies. Raid Best Buy. Okay. Do we have a Best Buy around here still? I think we do in Linwood.
There's Linwood, yeah.
That one's still there.
There's one in Northgate too, yeah.
Oh, right, where the Target is and all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tony, then stop by and see Alex. Okay. Yeah. I guess that would be also a good thing. Like if you get to go into some sort of like a museum or some kind of high security place where normally you would never have access to, and then there you are, and you can see all the behind the scenes stuff up close. Okay, I think we're kind of winding this down, so let's find one to end this on, because went past 3 hours. Yeah, it's been fun. Okay, so here's one from the last round that I didn't ask. If you restarted your life from scratch, do you think you'd end up in the same place?
I do. I think inherently, like there are a lot of things that like I needed to learn or understand just from a base character state. And like going through the life that I've experienced and different versions of it, I think, at least I feel like I've always been meant to reach this point where I'm at. I've also been really lucky to have a lot of support and people in my life that have influenced that. But like, yeah, I do feel like I would be, I mean, maybe in like a better position, because like obviously I'm gonna go for like, a better position than I'm at, but like, yeah, I don't know. Like I know who I'm at, and I know the things that I've like overcome and what I've experienced, and like in different versions of who I'm at or who I am. Like I think that would say more or less the same.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I think for me personally, being a dancer, probably not. I think that just happened by luck because like my mom got me into it, but probably pursued music more because I was also studying guitar before I started dancing. So maybe that would have been a different avenue I did excel at. Or I don't know. It's just interesting how things work out, you know? You don't
Yeah.
plan a lot of these things, you end up following.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know. Yeah, if I started from scratch, I don't know if I'd end up in. I doubt I'd end up in the same place, but that's not really bad or good. I just know like the. Well, I guess it depends. If I have this knowledge base right now and then have to start from scratch,
Yeah.
that would be a big difference because then obviously there's going to be things that I might make some different decisions that happened earlier in my life. Even from a career standpoint, I don't think I would have been a teacher. I just kind of went into that realm because it seemed to check off a lot of boxes. It seemed to kind of work for me. It was never a passion. You know, some people, that's what hopefully drives you. And that wasn't for me. It just kind of seemed like it fit the bill. So I don't think I would have gone that direction. I would have stayed with something more artistic. And that would have had an after effect on my family because they would have been like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This doesn't make any sense. You can't make any money from this. You can't get a career from this. So, and like Carlos said too, though, yeah, so many things happen that you don't have planned, and they turn out amazing, and these opportunities and things, and you just never know. So even if I had to start from scratch, who knows what kind of opportunities would have come and said, hey, now you're going to be doing this, and now I don't know, a well-known actor, or I don't know, I own my own businesses or something. You just never know. All these kind of things are kind of brain teaser, brain breakers. These things are said, but hey, everybody. So Carlos and Anisa and then Kelsey up north, if you're sleeping now or what have you, thank you so much for joining me tonight for the round 11, and for Tony and Industrial Girl and Dusty and Captain Blackwood and anyone else that I missed. So sorry, but I know you're there, and some people that didn't make themselves aware of this, because I know there's people that watch them religiously without chatting. Because they tell me later. And yeah, it was so much fun having everybody here, and hopefully we had a fun time. Don't forget that if you're free tomorrow at 2 p.m., I will be doing a formalized interview at 2 p.m. our time, Pacific time, and then I'll be doing another one on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. And then, yeah, all you Alice fans and non-Alice fans that don't know who they are willing to become Alice fans, start joining us on Thursday, because that's when the tour kicks off, and I'll be interviewing a multitude of people, and that's kind of how that's going to go, and all the way through the 22nd. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there, and then I'll hopefully see you sooner than later. So thank you very much, and thanks, you,
Mark.
Anisa and Carlos.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for helping us get the record.